with four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 12:30 WTBC. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are ready for a nice, fun free-for-all Friday. Get you guys rolling into the weekend. Excited for what we have planned for you guys today. I mentioned it yesterday, and if you've seen the stream title and the thumbnail and all that stuff, you already know what's happening. At the top of the hour, we've got my brother, my former teammate, my counterpart, Anfernee Jennings, former Alabama linebacker. He'll be joining us via the phone lines. We'll be talking about this past season for him with the Patriots. As you guys know, they played in the Super Bowl. They came up short, but nonetheless, a really, really great season for him and the rest of those guys in New England. So we'll talk with him at the top of the hour. I'm looking forward to doing that. It's been a while since I caught up with my guy, man. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And speaking of teammates and a bunch of guys that I played with, man, there's been a lot of good content out recently. I guess that's part of the offseason, right? You got plenty of time to discuss things, get podcast episodes out. We got some clips from Jalen Milroe. He joined the podcast with Terrion Arnold and Patrick Surtain. They had a lot of interesting things they talked about, but a couple things in particular that I definitely want to listen to. So we'll take a listen to that before we get to Anfernee. We'll talk about what they discussed there. And thanks to Dwight, who is one of our listeners. I think he trimmed this clip up for us. That way we can listen to the whole deal. I think it's like 10 minutes, the one he made, but it included everything I wanted to dive into. So we'll probably listen to that. We'll respond to it, talk about it, and roll from there. Plus, via the Alabama football socials, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but they featured a new little series I think that they might start doing, or I don't know. I know they filmed it during the Tennessee week when it was the 2015 National Championship reunion, but it featured Reuben Foster, and it's called Who I Am. Kind of gives a little bit of a backstory on some former players and their journey, kind of who they are behind the helmet, behind their careers here in Tuscaloosa. So really cool first episode with Reuben. It's like a 5 or 6 minute little deal, but it was really good, man. Really, really good stuff, and I enjoyed it. I think you guys will too. If you haven't seen it, we'll listen to it / watch it. The reason I say watch it, if you guys are listening or watching us on the streams, you guys can see everything that we've got going on for you here at the Miller's Edge on YouTube, at Tide 100.9 on Facebook. You guys can watch us do the show live and, kick back, relax, hang out in the chat, drop your questions, comments, and concerns right there where we can discuss them live on air as well. Hey, big shout out to our guy Adam again from Lamparello Law, lamparello-law.com, official representation of the Miller's Edge here, man. He joined us yesterday. We got a lot of really good information, Chase. I loved having Adam on here. The good news is we'll have him on here every week discussing a number of deals and issues that are going on. But with everything in the current state of not just college football, but college athletics, all these injunction hearings, all these things, man, who better than to have than your official representation talk about it? So shout out to Adam who joined us. I really enjoyed it. I know you guys did as well, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next Thursday. But I forgot to highlight this, so I wanted to recap this part because I think I asked him this during the break, and I meant to bring it back during the live part of the show. But it was about Bediako and how he could maybe, or the University of Alabama men's basketball, could they potentially be, I guess, affected by the NCAA if they did pursue some of these dealings? And Adam's answer to that was no. His case is different. So I meant to highlight that because at least me, I'm sure there's probably a couple others, maybe a number of people already knew we weren't, I guess, going to be affected by that. But in my head, I was like, well, how does that work? We had the Bediako situation. I know that had been floated around. Now the NCAA is threatening more action. Could we be in their crosshairs too? But according to Adam of Lamparello Law, we don't have to worry about that. That's shouldn't be on the table. So I forgot to highlight that when we came back from break. So I wanted to do just that real quick during this intro segment. And going back to the whole Milroe podcast thing, Chase, did you get a chance to see some of those clips from that have come out so far?
There's a smidget, kind of like some teasers, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to dive a little bit into it because I've heard great things about it.
Yeah. So I bring it up because we'll listen to this, but it was cool hearing from him kind of go over a number of things, talking about his time here in Tuscaloosa. One thing that he did hit on, and he basically confirmed what I was talking about. What was it, like a couple months ago now, something like that? When I had I said it on the show, but I made the clip and I posted it just talking about, hey man, like I think people are kind of forgetting, like this guy also went through a similar deal, and I don't think he got the credit that he truly deserved for that. And he basically confirmed what I was saying, where he also was offered a lot of money, and he actually put a number tag on it, man. He said he was offered over $2.5 million. Jalen Milroe was, to transfer when the whole Coach Saban thing went down. He ultimately decided to stay here and keep his legacy going here in Tuscaloosa, help kind of keep everybody together. We all know how that went, and shout out to him for doing that. But it was cool to hear him confirm that, because that's what I was trying to point out. I didn't know a certain number figure, but I knew it was definitely seven figures for sure. From what I had heard, it was easily seven figures, and he had a number of schools calling him and contacting him. Now, I'm just curious, though, what school it would have been. And obviously there's a few, but I wonder who were the main players in that. Ty Simpson dropped the names. I want Jalen to drop the names. I'm curious who really was going after our guy. But yeah, he offered a lot of interesting details. He talked about Coach Saban's retirement, that whole deal. It's always cool hearing different perspectives, because for me, I wasn't in the meeting room, but it was ironic. Coach Mosley, right, who's now at Stanford, my guy, I was at his house before he went up there to the meeting, and it's kind of crazy because, again, we live right near each other, and I was just hanging out over there. He was on a quick break real quick, and he was like, I gotta, we got a team meeting, I gotta go run up here real quick, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. And then it was like 5-10 minutes after, we departed, like Milroe was talking about all the ESPN things going on. We were just sitting there. Then all of a sudden, he leaves 10 minutes later, all these ESPN notifications are going off. And I remember everybody was like, what in the world? Because then I'm like, man, did my dog know what was going on? And he didn't say nothing. I'm like, hey, how's he not going to tell me that coach is about to retire? I'm like, did he know what he was getting into? It crazy enough, he had no idea either, and he was on staff. Coach Saban didn't tell anybody. He literally made the decision walking in the room. He didn't even know 100% until right before he walked in the room is when he made the decision, which is so crazy when you think about Coach Saban and how calculated he is, everything having, message meaning and, everything so intentional. Then when it comes down to retirement, man, it was almost like a flip of a coin. It was like, either I'm going to he had two speeches ready. I'm either going to say, hey, this is how we did last year. This is what we need to do next year to improve and accomplish all our goals and aspirations. Or I'm going to tell the guys, hey, man, I think it's about time that I hang it up. And that's the one he went with. So crazy stuff. But we'll hear from Jalen Milroe, Terrion Arnold, and Pat, who was already in the league at this time. But they're discussing, that perspective of just sitting in that meeting room and getting the details. And then there's another thing that they mentioned. They're talking about some of the, I think at practice, two guys going at it. It kind of was just funny thinking about it, because that was, kind of a common thing. It'd be pretty often you'd have, guys going, sparring at practice, whatever you want to call it. But the way he described it with Coach Saban, say, hey, just move the ball, let's go. And at the end of the day, he just wanted to practice. You know what I mean? Like, he's not into the extracurricular. He definitely would get mad at us for, going at it to an extent. It was funny. He kind of like, I wouldn't say he liked it, but he allowed it. He permitted it to an extent. But then when it started to get in the way of practice, or you're risking hurting people, then that's when it became a problem. Not going to say any names, Chase, but we had one year, speaking of brawls and I guess things happening at practice, we had one year where we were scrimmaging, and scrimmages are always probably the most competitive. It's probably the most competitive atmosphere that you would find in, a practice here in Tuscaloosa, because that was the only time that we could actually go, legit tackle, right? We never tackled in practice. It was always thud at the most, but scrimmages was like, hey man, y'all cut it loose, treat it like a game. And then you got dudes trying to compete, because we knew like our scrimmage tape was our resume. If you go and ball out during a scrimmage, that lets the coaching staff know, hey, this is a guy that we can depend on. If he's going and doing that out there against the ones, twos, whoever's out there, and Bryant Denny during the scrimmage, you're probably going to get some good looks from the coaching staff and probably get some more opportunities. So people go at it, Chase. It's very competitive. And so one year, you were scrimmaging, and then not to mention, you scrimmage in the spring and you scrimmage during fall camp. In fall camp, we all know the temperatures are like through the roof. It's like 100. I mean, at least the index is up there. I mean, it's brutal. So imagine going out there. It's already highly competitive. They're letting the dogs off the leash. Now you can go hit each other. I mean, it's full contact. Everything's a go except quarterbacks. And then you got like temperatures that are just through the roof. Dudes are hot. People are getting pissed off. Excuse my language. Everybody's mad, right? Everybody's in a funk. And so one year we're scrimmaging, and it's typical, guys get after each other. Might have some dudes start squabbling a little bit, some punches thrown here and there. But there was one year where I kid you not, man, it got out of hand. We had somebody rip a helmet off, which, ripping the helmet off is ripping the helmet off. But then it took a step further. Dude took the helmet and swung, and he hit another player in the head with his own helmet, meaning that dude was not wearing a helmet and got clocked in the head with his own helmet. And I remember seeing, I was like, oh God, all right. See, so the point of that story is, number one, things definitely got a little rowdy at practice. But two, that's where we would definitely kind of draw the line, because you can't have our players get knocked out, let alone potentially having life-threatening injuries. I mean, getting hit in the head with a helmet and you're not wearing a helmet is probably a problem. Fortunately, dude was okay. He ended up with a concussion, so he was in concussion protocol for, I don't know, like a week or two, whatever it was. But yeah, that was one of the brawls that we had. It was really two guys just going after it. But I will say this: we did have a brawl one time, and I want to say this was the year we won the national championship game. I think it was in the springtime, because we were in the indoor and we were scrimmaging indoors. I can't remember what brought us indoors. Yeah. It was spring. Because I remember this time around, I forgot what it was, but we like changed something up a little bit. But I just remember it was like one of those days similar to what I just described. And we're practicing in the indoor, and dudes were just getting after it. I just, from the jump, there was a lot of there's a lot of tension. Offense, defense, there's a lot of tension. And I can't remember who initiated it, but when I tell you, like what he was describing was like two dudes really just scrapping. A brawl, though, we had a legit brawl where it was probably like 10 on 10, because one guy from the offensive line and one guy from the defensive line got into it. Same kind of deal. Helmets being snatched off, taken off, people swinging. And then the whole D-line came in, whole offensive line came in. Next thing you know, linebackers jumping in. You see tight ends, receivers, and it was like an offense versus defense brawl. And you just knew, Chase, that it was probably like set up to be something like that. Just because how everything got started, you already knew that there was some tension. And yeah, that was probably one of the craziest practice fight / brawls that I wouldn't say I was a part of it, because I wasn't really in that one. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't in that one. That was a little too. Hey, I was kind of like, hey, I'm about to sit, because I think I was like my redshirt freshman year. I'm like 220 pounds, man. I just see like big A-Sean, like swinging dudes, slamming. I'm like, yep, you know what? Yeah, y'all got this. Y'all can handle y'all's business. I'm gonna take this one out. So yeah, there definitely were some moments like that. So hearing that just brought back some memories. Anyway, all right, we got to hit a timeout. We come back, we'll keep on rolling. We'll hear from some of these clips. Again, we got Jay Mill, we got Ruben, really good video there, and we'll keep on rolling from there. And then at the top of the hour, we got our guy Anfernee Jennings, former Alabama linebacker, current New England Patriot. He'll be joining us, and we'll chop it up with him right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started.
It's the
Sounds like a your weight class moment. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely probably part of the logic. I'll be honest with you. Number one, I wasn't on the field when it happened. Like, I was already on the sideline. So that was one thing already. Two, yes, I was like, man, I know my weight class. And then when I saw like helmet swinging and stuff, I'm like, man, I ain't about to run in there and get hit with no damn helmet. Like, I'm like, that's kind of dumb. Not to mention, punching with, like, when you're punching helmets, man, like, granted, I've done that before. We've all done that. Like, when emotions start flaring, you know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking like that. But it's kind of dumb, because you really can really hurt your hands, break a finger, break a hand. But man, I can't remember who. I remember A-Sean was heavily involved. I do remember that. I remember A-Sean was involved. I remember Petway. I think Petway was in there. I don't know if I'm sure you guys remember DJ Petway. DJ Petway was one of the best pass rushers that we had, that no one really probably respected the way they should have. That dude was, I mean, he was so talented as a pass rusher, man. I feel like he was definitely slept on. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. My aunt just texted me, said she was listening to the show and heard how everybody brags about the weather in Arizona. Cause she used to live in Arizona. That's funny. But yeah, man. Yeah, there's a number of things. I mean, those are just like the practice deals. I mean, you talk about locker room stuff. Now, locker room stuff was different. Locker room was like, hey, ain't got pads on. Those are just like fights, like fist fights. Which that's what I mean. Ruben mentioned that in that clip, man. He was like, yeah, man, like dudes fighting to win. Like the atmosphere that we had was a little bit different, probably. I mean, like he explained. I mean, dudes fighting. I'm not saying they don't, but like I'm telling you, our practices were a little bit. And you know what's funny? Coach Cochran was like the biggest instigator. Like, not that he would want. He was not encouraging us to fight. Let me be clear. Like, I'm joking when I say that, but like the indoor brawl thing. Like, part of the reason like I knew something was going to pop off that day is because he was like hyping us up. He was turning us up from the jump, which he always did. That's his job, right? But I felt like that day it was like, man, things were getting a little instigated, man. You know, because he used to want to get the D-line going. I mean, you get the D-line going, that's going to turn up the heat of practice, right? Anytime like the trenches are really going at it, everything just really kind of gets real competitive. You know what I mean? Because that's where all the physicality happens. So yeah, it just felt like one of those days. Sure enough, it was, man. But that one kind of got out of hand. Like I said, that one was a little rowdy. Did a quarterback toss you around? Hell no. Smitty, come on, man. Smitty, no, come on, man. Nah. The first scuffle I got into when I got here, I think was like an actual like me scuffling, not just kind of like a group type deal. But I want to say Dominic Jackson. I don't know if you remember Dominic Jackson. He played right tackle. He came from JUCO out in Cali. Big, heavy-handed dude. I mean, big dude. Dude was probably like 6'5", 340, 350. I mean, he was big. But he was just doing the most at practice, and we just kind of got to scuffling. But like I said, I wasn't like ripping helmets off, but I was swinging on his helmet. That's why I know him. That junk hurts. It's not a fun feeling. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, we got a lot of cool Bama content we're going to dive into before we do our own, right? Get Anfernee Jennings here on the phone lines at the top of the hour. Really looking forward to hearing from my guy. Man, when I tell you we're close, man. You know, it's like, you know, Sam, Jack, both outside linebackers working together, being in the same room for years, man. We spend a lot of time together, roommates on the road and stuff like that. So he's one of my teammates that I'm, really, really close with, in terms of how much time we spent together. I mean, we got a really tight bond. So I'm really excited to hear from him, man. I haven't talked to him in it's been a minute, man. Been like probably close to about a year, man. That have really chopped it up with him. I mean, obviously, we exchange stuff on social media, but looking forward to hearing from him. So we'll do that at the top of the hour. But first, let's hear from another one of my teammates. And I thought this was really cool, man. There's a feature on my guy Reuben Foster, who's joined us here on the show a couple times now, and it's a really nice little feature that highlights Reuben's story. Kind of get to know him a little bit more behind the jersey, behind the helmet, to who Reuben really is. And this is posted by Alabama Football, their official media page, and it sounds like this might be a little bit of a new series that they're trying to aim for. Who Am I? Covering former players and their stories. So let's hear from Reuben Foster and hear who he is behind the helmet in the jersey.
Well, Reuben, man, first off, welcome back, man.
Thank you, bro.
Welcome back.
Mindset, shoot, it was always be the nastiest person on the field. It's just my mind race. It always race every game, even if it's a small game. Every game is just race. Every time I get on that field, every time I touch the field, I just feel different. After my brother died, I turned into a different person. I was just mad. Let me
Take time. Yeah, we're good. We're celebrating the 2015 championship team. Talk about some of those kind of iconic moments leading up to that championship run that season.
It was fun. We rocked out, man. We rocked out.
Alabama Crimson Tide is the champion of college football. Wow.
Man, it was a lot of fighting going on. People fight their own brother for this just to win this. Like, how crazy is that? You know, smoking cigars, smoking cigarettes. Most people know me about that. Yeah, no, that was an iconic photo for real though. They passing their cigars around. I told them I didn't want a cigar. Why not smoke this instead of a cigar? You know, Tennessee is a memorable moment for me back on my college days. I didn't play that whole week because I was actually, they were scared for me. Coach Saban know about it though. He looked at me and almost, you know, busted a tip, but he didn't. And he said, "Are you okay?" And yeah. He didn't say, "Why you do that? Why you do?" "Are you okay? Like, I care about you, bro." Just over and over, like, kept trying to check on me, bro. Like, cause my mental, I was going through so much, like even, you know, my brother, whatever, and the situation, even ICU, my grades, him wanting better for me in life, just overall, like, it was good. But when when he called me in that office though, I was always trembling. Best believe, I didn't want to be in there, but I'm happy I was because I got to talk to him and I got to share my moments with him about how I felt. And the man really listened. Man, Coach Saban, bro, his love is unbelievable, bro. I love that man to death. The support system here and versus the NFL, the league is so different. Here at Tuscaloosa, Alabama, bro, baby, bro. Baby, I'm talking about mentally, physically, emotionally, all that shit that you dream about, bro. Coach Saban did a great job of having a strict schedule. Like, we stayed busy 24/7. They have the right setups to the point that if I didn't have this, bro, I don't know where I would be, bro. I came from high school, being a star athlete, to come down up here being on the bench, to trying to wait my turn, to do a lot, and I hated it, bro. I hated it, bro. I was back there missing my daughter. I'm not used to it, and it was a struggle for me because I knew my potential, I knew my talent, I knew where I wanted to be, but I had to wait. Reggie Ragland, C.J. Mosley, Trey the Priest. I thought I was better than them. I thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I want to be out there, but I wasn't ready, bro. I wasn't ready at all.
Who's Ruben as a person now?
I'm still this wonderful, joyful guy. You know, I love, love hard. Find my passion into giving back to the kids, to be honest. Like, even if I had to just talk to you, like, about certain things, about football, getting up, who's your friends, whatever, I do that very well, and I do it so passionately. And I just don't want them to go through what I went through or the obstacles, that I had to face.
Talk about fatherhood, man. Fatherhood, what it means to you, how it changed you, man.
Patience. You want to give them the world. You want to give them whatever they need, bro. Like, you can't. I'm a sucker, first of all. My daughter, I'm a sucker. They can tell you. They can tell me, Dad. You know how the teenagers get mad or whatever. Dad, I don't like you. It's all right. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But next thing you know, you gonna come back. Dad, can I have $20, $30? Here you go. I'm a sucker. I'm not remembering. Dad don't like you. You ask for him. Here you go, baby. You know what I'm saying? I love my kid. I love my child. Like, she can get anything. To be honest, it's just she gotta listen and she gotta go through the steps that I went through in life too, and that's discipline and structure. So, but overall, love them to death.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
This is Reuben Foster, the hardest hitting linebacker of Alabama, the freaking GOAT that you know, number 10. Hit your chin, whatever. Hit your chin, whatever. You get
So there you have it, man. Shout out to our guy Ruben, man. He's a special dude, built different, as you guys heard from that interview, man. Really touching video, man. He kind of talked about his story. He had that situation back when we were in college, man. He was out of town. I think it was during the spring, and unfortunately, due to some gun violence, I think he lost his brother. But he talked about Coach Saban, checking on him and just being there for him. And man, really special dude right there. When I tell you, he was, man, they don't make him like Ruben. Like, on the field, I mean, that dude's a killer, man. Off the field, I mean, he'll light up a room with his smile. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, don't get it twisted. He's still, he handled business off the field too. But in terms of just having that infectious smile and that energy, man, he's such a solid dude, man. And so it's really cool listening to that and hear him get to talk about his story. What he stands for, being a father, all the good stuff, man, that he's doing now and that he's up to. So really cool stuff. Just wanted to play that for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because I was like, God, man, that brings back so many memories. But that first part, Chase, I'm not gonna lie, man, when they're playing those clips of him, making those hits, man, I don't know, man, get chill bumps, because I'm like, God, I remember, witnessing that firsthand. Like, man, Ruben's a killer out there. Like, I mean, nobody was safe when Ruben was on the field. Like, nobody. And it's just funny, you hear him, and even like the maturity, like he knew, and everybody knew. Like, Ruben had probably the craziest high school highlight tape out of number one for any linebacker. He hands down, he clears it. He's got the best linebacker high school highlight tape that you can find. And like he said, I mean, the whole time he had to wait his turn, but in his mind, he's like, man, he wants to be out there. He wants to play. Like, he feels like he's better than the guys in front of him, which that's a very common thing, man. He's a confident dude. Why wouldn't he be? He's a damn good football player. But he waited his turn. He was patient. And that was, man, listen, I'm glad we didn't have NIL back then. Because could you imagine the money that would be offered to a guy like Reuben Foster? He's a sophomore. He's not starting. He's playing some snaps, a lot of special teams. He's getting some snaps here and there. But imagine the money that these dudes would have been offered, man, just sitting there waiting behind the scenes, right? And hell, I sat there, 3 years until I finally got to play? Like, there's a lot of us. Reggie had to wait his turn. I mean, like, a lot of guys that waited their turn. So I can only imagine what NIL would have looked like, number one. And number two, makes you kind of think about it, man. Like, I don't know. We would have had to probably, we would have been replacing guys left and right. Not saying guys wouldn't have wanted to stay, but think about how tempting that would be. They would have offered this dude the world to transfer, right? So I don't know, just a totally different space. But just hearing somebody like him, like, hey, he waited his turn, he was patient, and man, he definitely made most of it when he did get his opportunity. So really cool stuff. We got to hit a timeout to stay on schedule. When we come back, we keep on rolling. Again, we got Anfernee Jennings joining us in about 29 minutes or so. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll chop it up with him. But in the meantime, we'll hit this timeout. We'll keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC. Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can. Matter of fact, they're going to send me some new hats, man. I'm excited, man. They got some new hats that they just stocked up on. Shout out to our folks over at Asphalt Restoration. All your asphalt needs, man, they got you covered. Haven't seen a headhunter like him since. I'll say Mac Wilson, man. He had himself some shots. I will give Mac some credit, man. Mac Wilson definitely had himself some highlight hits pretty frequently. Still would probably get the crown to Ruben for sure. Ruben's got that crown, but I would probably say Mac Wilson was pretty close. Tony Brown, you saw him on that clip, man. Tony has some big hits on kickoff. But if you're talking about just as like a linebacker, sorry, I'm trying to find those clips. Did I skip them? Yeah, I must have skipped them. Oh, there's some.
It always breaks every game, even if it's every game. Even I just kept. It's just my mind race. It always breaks every.
Well, I thought he about killed Ole Miss's quarterback. Who was it? Bo Wallace that year?
Game, even if it's a small game, every game is just race. Every time I go on that field, every time I touch the field, I just feel different. After my brother died, I turned into a different person.
Now that hit right there is kind of scary because you see his head, man. I remember they were getting on him about that because that I'm not gonna lie to you, man. As beautiful as a hit as that was, man, that angle with his head down like that is scary. I mean, dude was already wearing a neck brace for his neck being a little jacked up, hitting people. And then I don't know if you guys remember after this hit when he got up and he was like celebrating, running. I think he got a stinger from it because he couldn't move his arm. I remember he was running and I was like, why is Ruben running like that? Then he got to the sideline. Ruben couldn't even move his arm. His arm was just like limp. And it's kind of scary stuff, man. I'm like, God, you gotta be careful, brother. But nonetheless, man, he definitely hurt somebody. Then I remember Fournette was like making it seem like he downplayed it or whatever. I'm like, come on, man. Don't do that. Ruben made a guy do a 360 midair. Yeah, that was Deshaun Watson in the championship game. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, Max hit on Speedy Noel and he allegedly lost a tooth. I don't know if that's just people saying that happened or he actually did lose a tooth. I don't know, but Max hit on Speedy on that kickoff against A&M at home. What year was that? Was that 2016? I think it was. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I think you're thinking of Mac Wilson. That was Mac Wilson that hit Speedy on that kick return. You know who also had a crazy hit was Christian Jones. He was on punt team, I think. And I want to say they were playing Mississippi State. It was before I got there. I think it was in 2013, maybe. 2026 Mac Jones would not be sitting behind Hurts and Tua. Well, I'm just thinking about like the guys I played with. Like you look at like this picture right here. This was, what year was this? This was 2015, I think. Like Dylan Lee he waited, his time to play. He's from Beaufort, Georgia. Man, Dylan Lee, funny story before we come back real quick. Dylan Lee used to try to I'm not going to call it bullying us, but he used to give me and Rashawn Evans hell, right? Because we were the young bucks in the outside linebacker room. And Dylan was like one of those dudes where he was, super smart, knew the defense like the back of his hand. Really good athlete too. But he used to make me and Rashawn's life hell in the meeting room. He used to just mock us and laugh anytime we get questions wrong. And we just got there. And I remember one time we were in the weight room, man, and he finally crossed. He said something crazy to me, man. I just dropped the weights. I had weights in my hand, and I forgot what he said to me, but it really just struck a nerve. I was sick of his stuff, and so I just dropped the weights and I just squared up. I'm like, man, what do you want to do? I'm tired of you. Like every single day in the meeting rooms, he got some smart stuff to say. And then after that, I guess he earned his respect though, because he didn't really, act like he used to act, but. Yeah, it was different back then. Like nowadays, dudes get on campus as freshmen and they're automatically, assimilated in the team. Everybody's cool, chilling together. The seniors when we got here, oh man, they used to, man. And welcome back into this Free for All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, we just got done watching that clip from Ruben. Really cool stuff, man. Definitely really touching video and tribute to a guy who was without a doubt the most feared linebacker. I would say that wore a crimson jersey, at least during Coach Saban's era. Don't get me wrong, Dante Hightower and some other guys are definitely, we can debate that for sure. But you can't at least mention that conversation without throwing Ruben in there. So my pick would be for Ruben. I'm biased. I played with him. But Rolando McClain, Dante Hightower, those guys are definitely in that conversation too. So I don't want to seem like I'm disrespecting some of the other guys before us. Speaking of former guys, let's keep on rolling because we got some more Bama content to get to. Before we get to our own Bama content, again, Anfernee Jennings will join us here at the top of the hour. Now I know Dwight, he clipped up a basically a whole part of it. I might play the two shorter clips just because I know we only have so much time. So let's start with the first one with Jalen Milroe on the podcast. What is it called? Close on Sundays with Pat and Terry on. And he was detailing, his decision to stay when everything was kind of, uncertain, right? He talks about the story of Coach Saban walking in, basically announcing, hey, I'm going to retire. Caught everybody off guard. I don't know if that's part of this quick 1 minute, 30-second clip, but he does detail kind of the process after that, which is really cool to hear from his perspective because I think people forget. I think people just thought, oh, well, he just decided to stay and wanted, but there's a lot that went into it. He talks about, well, you got the NFL draft. That was, something that was probably being considered. Then you got a bunch of schools flooding in, right? People hear Coach Saban retire. Remember, everybody was trying to dip into our roster. So let's hear from another former Alabama player, this time Jalen Milroe, detailing his process and that whole deal after Coach Saban retired.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oops, sorry, let me, I'm trying to get the volume. There you go.
On said ding, 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 ding. The ding, ding was Sports Center. Nick Saban retired. Coach Saban never move meetings around. Like, if anything's gonna be moved later or earlier, but not the next day, he walk on stage. We thinking, bro, it's gonna be strictly just, man, like, address the season. I kid you not. He talked about himself. That man never talked about himself. He started talking about himself, going a whole rant about, how he felt he could coach better. It wrapped up saying, I felt as though I need to retire in the meeting.
How was that process figuring out, okay, do I stay or do I leave?
I was offered so much money to leave, like from any school I wanted to go to. And I'm talking about more than 2.5 million.
Sheesh.
It would have been easy to just leave, go chase that dollar sign, play one more year in college. I'm still in the process. Should I declare and leave and go that year? Two things going on my mind. Like, also, man, we just lost a Rose Bowl. We were 1 game away. So I'm still hurt from that because the ball was in my hand the last play of the game. I'm still torn behind that. And I still got to use this poker face and walk in the building. The cutoff date for the declare for the draft. There's a cutoff date to transfer. And then I don't even know who our coach is going to be. Day by day, this person in the portal. Like, I don't even know who's going to be on offense. Everybody going to criticize how we played year one under Coach DeBoer. But a lot's involved with that. And I thought it was the right decision to stay.
So there you go, man. That was Jalen Milroe, I guess, detailing his experience after hearing the news about Coach Saban retired. I talked about it, earlier on, that it was really it was weird. I get exactly what he's saying. A lot of it was just very uncharacteristic, right? Like he said, Coach Saban first, rescheduling the meeting, which I know exactly what he's talking about. Teamworks. I don't know if you guys they probably use that maybe with, like, I don't know, regular careers and stuff too. But basically, Coach Cochran, if there was anything that needed to be announced or meetings or whatever, he would just put it through Teamworks. It hit all of our phones, right? We know what's happening. But he's right. You never had like a meeting like completely rescheduled. The only time I would say that I experienced something like that was when, say, we had maybe like a guest speaker or something get canceled. But I still don't even, like, it was a lot different. So that was interesting. Then he talked about him walking in like 2:01. Coach Saban talked about punctuality. Yeah, he's one person that that's not, you're not worried about that with him. So, but yeah, to be fair, I mean, he Coach Saban, I'm pretty sure at this point said it. And at least I know from, everybody I've talked to, and I think Greg Byrne even said it. The fact that he just said, all right, I've got pretty much 2 speeches prepared. I don't know which one I'm going with, but I'll figure it out. And then I guess he ultimately just decided to retire, which to me, that's still hard for me to wrap my head around, just knowing him and then knowing, like, he basically, like, I got a quarter right here in my hand. Like, it's basically like, all right, I'm either going to coach one more year, or I'm just going to retire. Like, this whole legacy that I built, I'm just going to just put it behind me, not in a bad way, but just off of, like, basically a 5-minute decision as I'm walking to the meeting room type deal. To me, that's just the craziest. I mean, it's low key it's kind of a gangster move by Coach Saban. At the same time, it's just a little uncharacteristic. But the other thing he mentioned was the money that he was offered to leave. And, again, going back to the little clip, and I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. When we were talking about it here on the show, that's why, again, I want to be clear. It was not to take anything from Ty. We love them both. I just knowing that's what I knew, that he was offered a lot. And how, like, no one really bothered to mention that, but I knew that. And I'm like, man, he did a similar thing. And with him, if we're just being completely honest here, Jalen's decision to turn down that money, low key, was a little bit bigger of a decision. The reason I say that is Ty is more than likely, I know some people aren't mocking him in the first round, but he's more likely going to be a first round pick. Signing bonus at the bare minimum at the end of the first round is going to be at least equivalent or more than what his highest offer was, around $6.5 million. Not taking anything from Ty's decision, still a really big decision, and shout out to him for making that. I love it, right? He's last of a dying breed. But if you think about Jalen, he didn't have a guaranteed, or not, I shouldn't say guaranteed, but a very highly likelihood of being a first round pick necessarily, especially after that year. His name was definitely, picking up. He had a big year in 2023, did a lot of great stuff, but he didn't have those same likely, I guess possibilities, or quote unquote almost guarantees. And he just flat out turned down $2.5 million. Now, I know people will assume that, well, Alabama probably just matched that. I wouldn't go so far as saying that. I mean, he definitely saw an increase in what he was making, but he definitely turned out a lot of money. And then on top of that makes it even more, of a bigger decision, is the fact that he just mentioned he had no clue who the next coach was going to be, who the coordinator would be, who his position coach was going to be, who the hell was still going to be on this team. So I think now if you revisit that and you really think about what not only him, but even all the other guys that decided to stay, but it really, specifically him in this situation, knowing how much he was offered being a quarterback and how much, that stuff matters to a guy who's going into his last year of eligibility, who's trying to be drafted as high as possible, who wants to have a good season, who wants to be put in the best position, but there's so many question marks and so much uncertainty, man. That is why I made that video, or at least, took that snippet from the show, because I want people to understand that position. And now you tie that into the hate that young man gets. And now you understand why I take it so personally, even though I'm defending him. It's not even me. I don't know. I feel it's personal for me, and it's not even about me. It's about him. But that's why. Because listen, he definitely sacrificed a lot too, and shout out to him for doing that. But I just thought that was interesting that he dropped it. I do want. I wish we know the. I want to know the name. I want to know the name of the school. Just sounds kind of, I don't know, intriguing to hear who that might have been or what schools. Sound like there definitely was multiple for sure. But who knows? Definitely don't know. All right, we got to hit a timeout. We're due for one. We come back. We'll keep on rolling. A couple more things we'll break down before we get to Anfernee at the top of the hour. We'll hear from him, get his thoughts on this past season, earning a trip to the Super Bowl, playing against Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. And we'll get some thoughts on Alabama from him as well. And keep on rolling right here on this Free For All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Almost there. We're gonna call we'll call Anfernee. I'll get you the info, Chase. As a matter of fact, I'll do it now. If you guys haven't in the meantime, man, make sure you guys Reed, my bad. I'm sorry, Reed. I was talking to Chase earlier. I didn't realize you guys switched over. If you guys haven't, man, hit that like button. I think we got 45, 46, had about 50 in at one point. I think we only got like 18 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to 30 real quick during this timeout. See if we can get up to 30. We can do that. All right, let me get this set up. Sorry, I'm trying to find this stuff real quick. That's why DeBoer should be applauded. He came into a hectic situation that lasted for 2 years, in my opinion. Wait, hold on. Mario, where you how'd you come up with DeBoer in that? I'm confused. You're saying because of the guy's leaving? I mean, it definitely hectic. I say the first year for sure. I mean, I feel like there was a lot more stability last year, in my opinion. I mean, just kind of seeing it, being around it. Don't get me wrong. I know he still is kind of trying to get his own pieces. I know 2 years is still early, but hold on 1 second. Wonder who else was on Burns' list other than DeBoer? That's a good question, man. That's a really good question. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, I don't know. Wait, Fromm said the head coach I wanted wasn't available. Who'd you want, Fromm? Think he helped keep a lot of the team together. You starting quarterback leaves, rest would have fallen. Now he definitely helped out a lot. Hearing their story about Lank too, we can pull up that piece as well. He kind of talked about the funding for the team that ended up transpiring due to Lank, man. There's so many things that they talked about on that podcast that I think were just really cool. And it just helps kind of bring a little bit more, I don't even want to say clarity because there didn't need to be any clarity, but it just helps answer questions because I just feel like there's so many opinions, so many things being said, you know, about him or about Lank, about all these things. And then actually hearing learning that, hey, they use funds from length to literally not only pay for the NIL of that season, but the following season. I mean, to me, that's clear as day that it paints a whole different picture than what. No, I'm not gonna say everybody, but there's a number of people, right, that have made comments about the whole length thing. Oh, it's cancers, it's this and that. But then you learn that it was funding the NIL, which, that was their thing. I mean, they could have chosen to keep as much as they could. Once the university got involved, clearly, there's, some more, hands that are, being, I guess, some more money is being exchanged is what I'm getting at. But the fact that they decided to contribute that towards the team, man, I mean, I thought that said a lot. I'm trying to find this clip real quick. 11:50. Should we get Smitty? Reed, ask Smitty if he wants to come on before we hit the top of the hour break for like a few minutes, or does he want to wait till we're done with Anfernee so he has more time? Ask him and see what he says. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, so I want to see, let's get Smitty on here. We'll go to the phone lines real quick because we got Anfernee at the top of the hour. We'll go to Smitty, give him some time, and then we'll hear from my guy Anfernee in a few short minutes. But first, Smitty, talk to me, man. Go ahead, brag about the weather. Because listen, it's 74 here in Tuscaloosa, so there ain't much for you to brag about, in my opinion, because we got some good weather.
we had a little cold front this week, so hey, we'll be all right.
Yeah. We got the beat today. Yeah, Tuscaloosa, 74 degrees, mostly sunny, man. Feels great.
Yeah, the whole Bill Rowe thing, and I think now you're starting to see a lot of things now when it comes to DeBoer. Because DeBoer, he shows that he's a coach that's going to ride and die with his guys. He don't care what you guys say to the media. Not you guys per se, but them and fans. Because even in the Oklahoma game, I was like, hey, can you just give him a series of 2 off to catch his breath, You can tell because everybody has a stinker, right? Everybody does. And but I was like, but Bill, DeBoer was pretty much saying, sorry, I'm going through a car wash right now, where he was saying, hey, if the sky is shining, the sky is blue here, the sun is shining. But I remember DeBoer saying something was like, hey, he stuck with him. Even in that bowl game, he had a rough outing because Bill Rowe stuck with him. And to me, that stuff, and plus Bill Rowe was a beloved leader on the team, the players follow suit. Because you remember when Saban sat him in that South Florida game, they performed a mutiny in that game. And I still thought if they started tying that, the team wouldn't probably been so bad. There was that other guy who stunk. I forgot his name. But I think because he stuck with DeBoer. And those guys stuck with him because of that. And I think DeBoer was just showing his appreciation by saying, hey, hell or high water, I'm gonna ride with this guy because, hey, he was there for me. I'm going to be there for him. I'll take the bullet. Because you remember, he took a lot of bullets when people kept saying, why you didn't bench him? You should bench him. All that stuff like that. He also, remember, he said as soon as he got there, Miller State, that he's our quarterback. So, to me, that says a lot about Milroe saying, hey, he could have taken the money. I thought it might have been USC. But it's also showing how Taylor the boards, he rides for his guys as well. He going to stick with them. And I think that may be a reason why a lot of these recruits coming in are sticking it out, who they get an opportunity to stick it out. I just think that's some of that stuff just comes out later, but that just shows a lot about both guys. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think it does too. And I will say this, I don't think there was like an allegiance where it's like, oh, Coach DeBoer's only sticking with him just because of that. Now, yes, I'm sure they had a great relationship and he definitely wanted to give him every opportunity, but sometimes it really just boils down to they just might not necessarily think that the next guy is quite ready. And I think this might be it too, is that maybe it was a situation where they're just thinking, all right, next series he's going to get it together. Next series he's going to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at it from that perspective too, because now that you know what you know about Jalen, the reason why he was majority of the running game, think about that part too. You take him out against Oklahoma, then you're losing 60, 70% of your production from the running game too. So you have to think about it from that perspective. Yeah. It's not as simple sometimes as just put the next guy in and just see what – I mean, you can, especially like later in the game, maybe when you're probably not going to win.
over.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that, but I think you have to think about it from that perspective, because I know I would be like that. If I'm a coach and I'm making that decision and I say I got a pass rusher like Tim Williams, so I know, man, he can get after it, but he's got a game where, I mean, he's just not getting pressure. In the back of my mind, I'm like, man, it's just this next snap is coming. This next snap is coming. It would be hard for me to do that, just knowing that, you know, the guy behind him hasn't really proven much either. So I think that's part of it. But yeah, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you either. But when I heard them talk about using the money, though, they're making so much money from Lincoln once Alabama got involved that they wanted to help kind of allocate as much of it as they could towards the team. To me, I'm like, dude, that's special, because I'll be straight up with you, man. Like, I'm business minded. Listen, I love my teammates. I want our guys to eat, but at the same time, listen, we came up with this idea, and I'm like, man, like, you're talking about funding the team, bro. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And to be fair, I know they had dreams and aspirations of playing in the league, and they both are, you know, in some really good positions. Terrion was a first-round pick. Jalen's a third-round pick. Just, you know, was able to win a Super Bowl in his rookie year, being a part of that organization. But still, like, there's no guarantee, Smitty. So that for you to, at that young of an age, to be that selfless and say, hey, we want to contribute this to the team. We're taken care of. We don't need them. I'm not gonna lie. That says a lot about both those guys, in my opinion.
It does. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is where the long game comes in. Milroe could sign pitchers for the next 30 years for 4th and 31. Isaiah Bond can't. He doesn't have a home to go to. And I think that's where the long game.
Does Milroe just sign does he only take a picture of himself throwing the ball at this point? Do you take away the catch? Like, I mean, you probably have to shift it a little bit, right?
Hey, you know, they used to play football on the street, called the Ghost Man. When you had that one guy, you know, that's what it is. It'll be a silhouette. It's like a WWE say, you're going up against Bacon. That's what it is. but you know, but it just shows, it's like, cause even I've always said, if there's an NFL quarterback in him, he should not be a first round pick. All they can do is throw you on the field. And he's in a situation now. If he may get opportunity to start, because we see guys get opportunity who may be a third round, like Malik Willis. Second time you'll get opportunity again. So he can sit, develop without the pressure to play immediately. And I think sometimes people may think that's a bad thing. In his case, it's the best possible outcome. Just like if Ty Simpson gets drafted by the Rams, a good organization, great organization, great coach. They have a veteran who goes to the Hall of Fame who may play another year or two. And there's no pressure to come in right now. And I think that may be the best thing for him, because it just may be a case where his stock wasn't going to increase. But it shows that the money is crazy, and those people are circling the drain. And I just think that this stuff shows how somebody is. And I'll say this one last thing, and they're up against it. You were talking about like how you guys waited y'all turns and stuff, and that's a challenge. And people kept saying it's the money that ran Saban off. No, every coach wants their players to get money. They just want some stability where, hey, do I know what my roster going to be? Do I have to re-recruit these guys every day? And he was big on the guys developing. But who's to say Matt Jones would have been happy sitting behind Tua and Jalen all those years if it was today? But you guys have a good weekend and take it easy.
Absolutely, man. Smitty, I appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend. Always good to hear from you, brother. Good deal. All right, we got to hit this top hour break, because when we come back, we'll be joined by my guy, Anfernee Jennings, former Alabama linebacker, current Patriot. Just got done playing in his first Super Bowl. We'll hear from him, talk to him about that. But real quick, before we hit this timeout, let me remind you about our friends over at Lamparello Law Education Advocacy. Founded by attorney and professor Adam Lamparello, they work with high school, college, and graduate students on academic and career success, mentoring, exam and test taking preparation, academic and professional planning, personal statements, resumes, you name it, and of course, legal representation, whether that's for misconduct matters, First Amendment cases, name, image, and likeness, and all other criminal defense matters, and known for representing with genuine care, passion, and relentless advocacy. If you guys want that strong representation and guidance, make sure you check out Lamparello Law. Contact Adam 201-317-5115 or their website, which will be launching very soon. Got pushed back a little bit, but it will be Lamparello-law.com. Again, that is Lamparello Law, the official representation of us here on the Miller's Edge, man. Shout out to our guy, Adam. Top hour break. We come back. We're joined by former Alabama linebacker Anfernee Jennings right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
TBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9.
Oh, you wore 33 because of Anfernee, Jake? That's dope, man. That's fire. I'll ask him that. You know what's funny? I wanted to switch to 33 at one point, and then Anfernee ended up coming in the next year, and he had it because my dad wore 33 in college. And my freshman year, when I first got here, I was wearing 34. They were assigned numbers. We didn't really have a choice. I think Springer sent us a list. And now when I tell you the numbers that we had to choose from, guys, were so bad. I mean, it was bad. You know, we back then, there was no you just getting to get a single digit the minute you step on campus. I mean, Coach Saban had to start bending a little bit, but he absolutely hated it. But yeah, man. But I was like, man, 33 would be dope because my dad wore 33 at South Carolina. But my guy Anf came and he had 33 and he rocked it, man. He made it look good on that defensive side of things. What was I about to say? If you guys haven't, man, hit that like button. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome in. We got Anfernee coming up here in a minute. Just been talking about we watched the Ruben clip. We watched a little bit or heard from Jalen Milroe, talked about that whole deal on that podcast with Terrion and Pat. And yeah, that's about it. If you guys missed the first hour. But if you guys don't mind, hit that like button, man. Let's see if we can get up to where are we at? We're at 28. We got 50 people in here. Let's see, 52. Let's see if we can get up to 35. We'll start with small increments. See if we can get up to 35 likes real quick. I was hyped when the Pats drafted him and oh, you're a Pats fan. Wait, so you're a Pats fan. Your pops. He's a Seahawks guy, right? Y'all are all over the place. Y'all are all over the place, man. What's funny is though, I when I grew up, I liked the Vikings. That was the last team my dad played for. He played there 1 year, but I like the colors when I was younger. I think the purple and gold, I don't know, I just liked it. So I liked the Vikings growing up. I mean, now I'm a Panthers guy because I played for them. Luckily, we're starting to look a little bit better nowadays. What's funny is my dad played 8 years with the Giants, and I just never was. I liked him, but I wasn't a fan. Texas head coach who I wanted just wasn't available. Oh, Texans head coach. Oh, gotcha. Oh, man, that would be interesting if one day he headed down to the college ranks. I don't know if he would do that. D'Amico Ryans, I think he'd be a hell of a coach. How about now? All right, there it goes. All right, sorry. Yeah, dude, I don't know what is going on with my system, man. Like it's weird. The camera, the new setup that we had, it's been acting bad. Like that's why I'm using the old camera right now because I couldn't even. Man, it's weird. Straight to. Let me see. I hope that's the right. Maybe I sent you the wrong number, Reed. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Here we go. I think we're still waiting on Anf, but in the meantime, we'll keep rolling here for a second. And welcome back into this Free for All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're still working on getting Anfernee on here, so we'll do that as quick as we can. In the meantime, we'll keep on rolling with what we've been talking about a little bit with the Jalen Milroe situation. Also, not situation, but him joining on that podcast with Terrion and Pat Surtain. Then also talking a little bit about the whole deal with Reuben Foster being featured on that first episode of the Who I Am series. Really cool stuff from both those guys. Reed, I want to segue a little bit while we wait on Amp to get on the phone lines, man. I want to ask you, because I haven't talked to you in a minute, man. I've had Chase this whole week, so glad to have you on here, by the way. Ty Simpson. So Ty Simpson, man, talking about another former Bama guy right now. So there's been a lot of mock drafts flying around that have been kind of all over the place. We've had some having Ty and Caden Proctor both in the first round. We've had others come out recently that literally only had, actually not only, we had 0 Alabama guys in the first round. Now we got some, I guess, some updated ones. This one coming from Mel Kiper, who is, he seems to be very high on Ty Simpson, man. He's got Ty Simpson being mocked 21st overall to the Steelers, which is a first-class organization, by the way. So if that is the case, that would be phenomenal if you could, get Ty in a situation like that. Only thing is there in terms of, did Aaron Rodgers announce what he's doing yet? Reed, do you know?
I have not heard anything like at least an actual declaration from him of his decision yet.
Yeah, I think he's still making a decision. If he's there one more year, I think that could be a hell of a situation. Say they draft Ty, you sit behind Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, right, for a year, and then you're also in a first-class organization. Now, in that division, you're stacked up against some talented players, right? I mean, we all know you got Baltimore with Lamar, you got Cincinnati, you got Joe Burrow. I mean, yeah, you got some stiff competition, but in terms of the organization, which is, I mean, super, super, super important for a quarterback, especially for any football player, but quarterbacks are, it's vital you have the right team around you, the right pieces, right organization that believes in you. I think that could be a great one. But I want to ask you, Reed, with all these different mock drafts flying around, which is normal, what do you think could be the most realistic thing we see here? Because we even had my dad on here. He mentioned, he's like, man, he feels like Ty could end up being a second round pick. So some people are on that side of things, but others are like me. I'm like, whether you view him as a second rounder because you think he has a whole bunch of talent, but maybe a little bit of lack of experience or whatever the case may be, I think it's inevitable that he probably finds himself in the first round, as long as there's enough teams that are willing to take a quarterback in the first round instead of trying to wait. And I think there are several teams that need quarterbacks where they're going to feel the pressure of taking a guy, even if they think he might be a little bit more slotted as a high second round pick, like a day 2 type guy. They have no choice because they want to make sure they get their guy. I think that could happen with Ty, especially in a situation like this. What do you think, Reed? Where do you think Ty is trending right now?
Well, Christian, if I'm being honest, and not to, I guess, give the cop-out answer, I guess, but I think it really just comes down to team needs. If there is a team in that position where they're like, hey, we like Ty Simpson, but could we get him, 6 or 7 picks later, If there's a team in between there that like, I don't know, maybe they'll take Ty, then they'll jump the gun and maybe take him in the first round. I think it really just comes down to who's there at, the late first round. Like, let's just say for example, like you mentioned, the Steelers or even the Rams. I know the Rams have a late first round. If they see the teams in between, I guess we'll just say 10 picks after their first rounder, right? And then eventually there's another team, like let's just say the Steelers, that maybe they're going to try to jump on Ty. Maybe they just jump the gun and they're like, all right, even though we'd like to get them later, we're afraid someone else will get them sooner than, our second round. And it's time for us to, take them where we need to get them.
Yeah, no, and then that's kind of how I see it. Like and it's still interesting when you think about, Ty Simpson's dad and his camp said they got nothing but first round grades on them. And then you hear, was it Matt Miller who was down at the Senior Bowl? And he said, well, I haven't found one person down here that had a first round grade on Ty. And that's where I think that's where it comes into play. Like you just were saying, like the reality is probably like, I listen, if you watch Ty's tape, especially on that during that stretch, I would say between week 2 to I don't remember the exact week. Say like week 2 to like week 8, 9, 10, whatever it was, until injuries and some of the the fall off started to happen. I would say, I mean, people were raving about the throw season. Man, I remember each week you're seeing clips being posted on social media of the throws he's making. People coming on social media and in sports talk shows talking about this guy looks like the top quarterback in college football right now. So if you go off of that, I mean, the talent and the potential, I mean, without a doubt, even like some of the intangibles, like, his ability to, operate the offense, doing things that a lot of other college quarterbacks can't do. In my opinion, Reed, like that to me signals a first round type guy. But I think they probably start weighing okay, well, he's only a 1-year starter at the college ranks.
Yeah.
There's probably a number of other little things here that they're probably, pulling up, which is what they do. And I think even with that, so even if you still have him with as a whole body of work, you're saying, hey, we see him as a very high second round pick. It's like you said, the way this thing works is if you got a guy in mind that you want, you can't sit there and go, okay, we view him as a second round guy, so we're only going to wait to the second round. Because if you fool around and play that game, there's a good chance you might end up missing on him. Because what happens is other teams, they might not necessarily need a quarterback at a certain spot or need a certain player. But if the best player available is there that they feel like is a guy, like think about like Jalen Hurts. People kind of laughed when they drafted him in the second round, I think it was. They're like, why would you draft a quarterback? You don't need a quarterback. That didn't make sense. And then you see how it paid off. So there's a number of ways to look at draft. Is a very interesting thing. And speaking of that, you got the combine coming up. I think next week is when it's kicking off. So that's going to be really exciting. We're going to be talking a lot about the combine, breaking it down. I'm going to try to get a number of people on here to get some thoughts and share their
Christian, let me ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, to keep on this, Ty Simpson conversation, do you think there's a specific team? Of course, I think we can both agree that he needs to sit behind, a veteran that's been in the league for a good while. But is there a specific team in mind that you'd like to go to? I mean, of course, the two names that just come to mind are the Rams and the Steelers. But is there any others, or do you think those two are just probably his best fit?
So, that's a good question. Sorry, I'm texting Anfernee. He's ready to jump on here. Just, for some reason we can't get his phone synced up, I guess, with our station. We'll figure it out here in a second. We got to hit a timeout, but I mentioned the Steelers because that's where they had them mocked. I think organization is really big, man. Like the organization itself, and Pittsburgh is one of the best organizations. I think that could be big. I mean, they're known for having good defense as well. So that's another, plus for that reason. So I do like that. I think the Rams, when everybody brings that one up, I mean, it just almost sounds like the perfect fit with sitting behind Matthew Stafford. You got a guy like Sean McVay, young guy who, people love, they rave about. He's a coach that, he's been successful. He's won a Super Bowl. I mean, LA, I know Ty's a Southern guy at heart, but I mean, I'm sure he probably would enjoy himself. I think that would be very solid. I think those two sound much better than the Jets, Cleveland. I mean, I think it's just clear as day. I mean, if you had the choice between LA or Pittsburgh or those organizations versus the Jets or Cleveland, I just think it's I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty easy one. But at the end of the day, this isn't recruiting. You're not choosing where you want to go. They choose you. So a little bit different there. It's out of your control, which is actually a really interesting feeling, man. We can ask Anfernee about that. I see we got him ready. We're going to hit this timeout first. But when you're sitting there waiting on that call, you know, it's a totally different ball game because you got teams are telling your agents one thing, and sometimes it's true, sometimes a lot of smoke. And at the end of the day, you just never know until you officially get that call. And some guys, they don't get a call, then you're still trying to scramble from there. So this is a very interesting process for a lot of guys, but it's always fun to, you know, have the opportunity. You know, everybody dreams of it, and you know, you just got to make the most of it, even though it's a little bit of a stressful process, to say the least. All right, we're gonna hit a timeout. We come back. We got my guy Anfernee on here. We'll chop it up with him. We'll ask him a number of things. Talk some Alabama football. His season had a big year this past year. First trip to the Super Bowl. Hopefully not the last. Really enjoy watching him this season, and can't wait to catch up with him. We'll do that right here on the other side on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
The Tuscaloosa Thread News Update is brought to you by Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Tuscaloosa's destination for iconic Jeeps. Lease a new 2026 Chrysler Pacifica Select for $421 a month for 42 months, $39.99 due at signing.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy.
All right, good deal. Championship Chase says covering the Steelers, the feeling is that they want to give Will Howard a shot. He's had a year behind Rodgers, and there he fits what they want to do right now. What about my guy, Mason Rudolph, man? Is he still in Pittsburgh? I feel like he's been there forever, man. Is he still there? Excuse me. Last I saw, he was there, but oh, so he did go to Tennessee for a year, but he's back. Yeah, so he still is there right now. Well, I've told you guys this before, but we both came out of South Carolina at the same time, and we're both finalists for Mr. Football. He's a really good quarterback in high school. It's him, me, then there's a guy named there's a guy from Goose Creek. He ended up signing with Georgia, man, but he was only there like a year, and I don't know what happened to him. If you guys are just tuning in, we got Anfernee on the line. We're going to go to him as soon as we come back. We got, 37 likes, and we got like 60 people or so in here. If you guys haven't, man, hit that like button. We always appreciate that. Let's see if we can end this week on a big note. Let's see if we can run those likes up, man. Mason's not likely on his way out. Fair. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I think it all depends on what Rodgers does too. You know, I think it's evident if Rodgers retires. I mean, you need somebody, whether you sign a guy or you take somebody. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do. Good deal, man. We got Pastor Payne on here too. Let me get him on here. So we're gonna have a football party in here, man. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'm not gonna mess with any. Wait, now can you hear us?
Yep.
Heck yeah. All right, good deal. I'm not messing with anything else, man. Not messing with anything else. Yeah, we got 3-3 on here. He's gonna be on the phone lines, but I'm excited, man. Get his thoughts on first Super Bowl trip, man. How it compares to the national championship.
It's not the same.
How so? You ain't playing either. I mean, well, hold on. Wait. Hold on.
I just know. That's no thanks. You know what I'm saying?
So what is better? I mean, what's your?
I mean, the Super Bowl is obviously best. So much more money. More corporate
That
sponsors.
make everything better. I mean,
oh, dude, I've been to numerous Super Bowl. I've been a part of them. I've covered them on radio, TV.
No, but I'm saying, but what about like the passion? Look, can we agree that this past Super Bowl was like the game itself? It wasn't as exciting as some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, you say that because it wasn't no offense in the beginning. If you're a defensive guy, you know you love football. It was a great game.
It was good defense.
But see, people think great defenses, two great defenses, then the game is bad.
I was saying more so. No, I was saying more so like there wasn't like a crazy comeback type deal, or like 28-3 with the Patriots and the Falcons, or you talking about Jalen Hurts going back and forth with the Chiefs, like, you know what I mean, like.
I don't know. Like you said, I've never been, so I don't know, but I can only assume.
Sorry, hold on, let me get Anfernee on here.
Lord is in this place.
And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We got a whole, we're in the meeting room now, man. First up, we got my brother, my counterpart, my opposite side on the edge for years here in Tuscaloosa. Now he's doing his thing in the NFL with the Patriots, where he just got done with his first Super Bowl appearance. You guys talk about alphas, you talk about leaders, you talk about dogs. This guy exemplifies all that, but most importantly, man, he's my brother, man, my roommate on the road, man. We go way back. My guy Anfernee Jennings is joining us on the phone lines, and Anf, we got my dad on here too. We got the pastor of pain, so we're about to sit in the meeting room, talk some football for a minute, man. How you living, Anf?
Man, my God, my brother. See, what's up, dog?
Man,
What's
can't
up?
complain.
What's up, OG?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Amp, you gotta get out that cricket wireless, man. The station was like, hey, we tried calling him, man. We can't get a hold of him. I'm like, man, my guy, he been focused on football. He might have cricket wireless right now or something, man.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on over here, dog.
Nah, you're good. Nah, you're probably on vacation, enjoying the off season, maybe taking a trip out of the country on a nice boat, enjoying and drinking some coconuts or something. I don't blame you doing your thing. Nah, I feel you, bro. But no, it's good to hear from you, bro. I'm glad to catch up, man. I know you're coming off the Super Bowl game, and obviously it didn't necessarily go y'all's way, but you talk about just having that opportunity, man. But tell me this, man, how was that, and how did that compare to playing in a national championship game, which you have a lot of experience playing in, all about that, but making it to your first Super Bowl, and you were a big part of that defense. You're a leader on that team, in that defense for sure. I mean, what was it like helping lead your team to a Super Bowl appearance, man?
Man, it was a blessing, bro. I don't think it was a lot, different than, us, in college getting to the national championship game, the game that you set out to get and reach the beginning of the season, and then, you go through and you knock down all the goals that you set out to, to accomplish team-wise, and then, that kind of helps take care of everything else. And then, obviously you get there and you come up short, man, you try to take everything in and, get your body ready, your mind ready, and, try to do it again. Man, but like you said in the beginning, bro, it was a season for me of opportunities, man. I just, I had a lot of things in the beginning, I feel like didn't go my way, but, I stayed down, stayed working, and, I just capitalized, and I tried to make the most of the opportunities that I got. And, that kind of, put me in a position to help my team late in the season, and, I was able to do that.
Absolutely. Nah, you're doing your thing, man. It's always fun watching you do your thing out there. You're rocking the 3-3 still, which is dope. Well, you switched back to 3-3, and real quick, I know my dad was probably about to ask you something, but I wanted to throw this in there. One of our listeners, he said he wore 33 because of you. He used to watch you here at Bama wearing 33, and because of that, he chose 33 to wear in high school. But he wanted me to ask you, was there someone that I guess made you wear 33 or make you want to wear 33, or it was one of those deals like when we got here in college, we didn't really have much of a choice. Springer just kind of gave us the number.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, like I think when I got to college, bro, Coach Saban gave me. I think I had 21 at first, and then something happened. That's when I realized, well, Trader Priest obviously had it before me, but then when when I came in and I started, I think it was even before the first practice. I'm like, I want to wear, something. I wanted the number 13 because I wore it in college, but I wanted something, close. And then 33 was open, and I switched to 33, and I ain't really looked back since. And I mean, that was my granddad's favorite number, and I had a lot of just memorable things in 33, man. People start calling me 33, and we just never look back, man.
Hey, bro, Anfernee, just blessings to you, man, and congratulations on a fine football season. I know Playing the Super Bowl is one of those things, man. A lot of folks don't get a chance to do. I mean, I played that game for almost a decade and never sniffed, playing in that final game. So congratulations. I know that took a lot of hard work and effort and team, So congratulations for getting there. Now, real quick, speaking on 33, because you talking my number, right? Because 33 was always my number, right? High school, my number is retired. Number 33 is retired. Never be one again at my high school. 33 was my college number. And the double trays, man, it's something about them double trays. And matter of fact, I was trying to get my son to wear 33 when he went to college. So he ended up having.
He just said it.
But these weird numbers and all that end up with 47. I think he was, who were you, 30 or something?
Wait, hold on. Why are you trying to play my number? Hold up. Wait.
Well, no,
Hold up.
No, you got 34. You got 34, then you went to 47.
I started with 34 because I had no choice. And then the second year, Damian came in, and he's a 5-star running back. And we both are on special teams. So it's like, all right, somebody's got to change. So I was like, oh, bet. 8 just became available. Rob Foster Ward on offense, but nobody on defense. So I tried to go to Coach Saban. I asked for 8, and he cussed my ass out and started going on a rant about, I'm tired of you guys wanting single digits. It's not what you need.
You got to catch him on the right day, bro. You got to catch him on the right day.
I caught him on the worst day because, I was like, so, hey, Coach, I could just see his leg was shaking already. He was looking at me like, why the hell are you in my office? And I was just like, I just wanted to know if I could get number 8 because, me and Damien, I don't even think I finished, bro. Yeah, he just started going off, and I just remember I was like, "Okay, yes, sir, yep, got it." And
because all of y'all because y'all started with all this shit. Because back in the day when I played, you in pros, you had 50s or 90s. You saw the choices you had. There wasn't no single digit, 0,
right.
13. I mean, you couldn't have these numbers that you guys are Anfernee playing with. Now you had to be a 50s or 90s guy. But let's talk football real quick because Mike Vrabel is a guy, reminds me of that old school throwback New York Giants, Bill Belichick, that defensive mindset. And you having an opportunity to play in that type of defense, they want the bigger Sam backers. They won't run stuffers, guys that can control the line of scrimmage. Just talk about Mike Vrabel. You played before him. New England was not doing well. And now in his first year, he changes everything and gets you guys to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, I think Brady just, obviously he played at a high level. As a player, I think he won like 3 Super Bowls, won a ton of accolades, and just played at a high level. But I think the biggest thing that he do for us is just be able to put himself in our shoes. Having that experience, having that that level of success, and I think throughout the playoffs, man, like him, the schedule that we had, the workload, and just everything that we was doing, man, it was just, you could just tell that this guy been here before. Like he knows exactly what to expect, exactly what to do, how to prepare, and I think that helped us throughout the whole season. And just his demand of excellence. Obviously playing for Coach Saban and Bill, Coach Belichick, and then having Gerard Mayo, all those guys different, and then having Vrabel, man, it just I think one of the best years of just my career this year, just seeing that transformation and just going through all of that, and then having a year like this, it's definitely a blessing, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I've always felt like you were like a perfect fit for a Patriots linebacker. I mean, you're versatile, like my dad said. You definitely are very physical, edge guy. You can set the edge. I mean, you're a staple piece of that defense. You can move around, do a number of things. So it's always cool seeing you rock that Patriots jersey, kind of following and guys like Dante Hightower, other players, that have played here and that have gone there. And speaking of other guys, give me an update on my guy Barmore, Anf. I haven't heard from Barmore in a minute, man. I saw a little clip of him on the sideline. He was talking. It was like, during the Super Bowl, he kind of was he was talking to another D lineman, and I'm like, man, he hadn't changed one bit. Is he the same Barmore over there in Foxborough?
Hey man, be more still, be more, bro. Ain't nothing changed, dog. Ain't nothing changed.
Man,
it's good.
Bro, I was dying laughing. I'm like, bro, he literally is the same mannerism, same everything. Head shaking. I mean, he looked like he's about to hurt somebody, like barely all in the leash. I'm like, man, Baltimore, settle down, bro. Please. I'm getting flashbacks.
Hey, I tell you what, though. I tell you what, bro. You know, be more, bro. It ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? On Sundays, I'd rather see in the locker room, get ready to go to war with, brother, than be more.
Facts. Yeah, no, you're
know,
right.
you know when you got him on your side, bro. Like it's a good thing, and you could tell that, and you could be a testament to that, because I mean, obviously you played with him a few years, and you seen, exactly how he approached the game, and the level of violence that he played with.
Oh yeah. Nah, he's one of those dudes, man.
And he's gotten better too. I think B-Mo's gotten better. I think he's a better player in the league than he was at Alabama. He's a little bit crazy high strong, Chapman had to try to beat him down to get his mind right, coming from up north. But you can tell that the coaching and
Philly.
right, the coaching and he's I think much more defined as a player than he was at Alabama. Oh, let me ask you this, Anthony, I hate to bring up the Super Bowl, but at the same time, you guys for at least 3 quarters, man. I mean, I love the game because I'm a defensive guy. I love when defenses are forcing 3 and outs both sides and offenses can't sniff anything. And you guys were toe to toe with this defense of Seattle because they were the best defense by stats, at least in the league. But you guys matched that. But it was your offense, Drake May, having a phenomenal year. A lot of people had him in the conversation of player of the year, that type of thing. But when it came to the ball game, they could not get anything done, and I think his immaturity showed a little bit, making some crucial mistakes that really flipped the game. But just tell folks, what it's like when you playing, toe to toe with a team and your offense is struggling. How did y'all keep your mindset? Because it's easy to start going down to the other side of the sideline and cussing people out. You know what I mean? But you guys can continue to try to keep your focus. Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, I think throughout the whole season, as a defense, we kind of looked at it like, if they don't score, they don't win. And, just, taking that throughout the playoffs, we in the playoffs, we played against a lot of good defenses, our offense against a lot of good defenses. And the whole playoffs, like, we wanted to make a point that, because I don't think a lot of people was respecting us and what we was doing. And, I think our biggest mindset was, just going there and do what we do. And, at the end of the day, somebody going to have to, understand how we coming, and I think throughout that game, man, like, playing against a good team, at the end of the day, man, it's going to come down to like 3 things. It's going to come down to, turnover ratio, who can stop the run, who running the ball, and I think it comes down to special team and just like the efficiency on offense and who's able to capitalize and just get those those plays that you need to get to keep the ball moving and get points on the board and like I can only control what we can control and defense, man. We pride ourselves on stopping the run the whole season, man. We had some hiccups in that game, man, that, kind of got away from us, man. And, it's unfortunate, but, man, we live and we learn from it, man. And, we going back to the drawing board.
No doubt. Well, you got a young quarterback who's really talented, a lot of good pieces to keep building off of and working around. And no doubt about it, you guys are definitely going to be working yourselves back in that situation. I have no doubt about it. But speaking of dogs and defense and all that good stuff, I mean, you were a staple piece here in Tuscaloosa. You know all about it. You know about being a leader, about being an alpha. You have that championship DNA in you. I mean, you experienced it here alongside a bunch of us, playing under Coach Saban. But I want to ask your thoughts on this, Anfernee, because I know you're a passionate guy. I know you keep up with Alabama. I mean, you're from the state. I mean, you got a lot of pride in it, man. Have you been able to keep up with this Alabama football team this past season? And if so, man, just tell me your thoughts on kind of what you saw out of that group.
I have, man. I think, I think that, at times it's been, I feel like it's been up and down. Obviously, we had a opportunity to just go and compete for a championship, which is, always the goal. But I think that, over the years, we've, kind of lost our identity, and just the standard that we, set for, to play to, and, having those dogs and those, leaders that, stand in front of guys and just have a zero tolerance for, not playing to that standard. Just little stuff like that. And I think that, the teams that do play with their identity and, let it show, I think those teams, this past season were the teams, that was still playing in the end, Miami and Indiana. Indiana kind of looked like, I feel like, the playing to the, the level of the identity that, we once played to. And, I'm confident and I'm hopeful that, we can get back to that. And, but, I just think, at the end of the day, man, we built the identity down and the standard, and, that's the level that I'm used to seeing now. And, when you don't see it, you obviously notice it, but, it just, that's what it is.
Yeah, and you definitely always tell people when you talk about guys that not only exemplify that, but they live it. You know what I mean? You're a clear example of that. Guys like the Rubens, you know what I mean? Guys that, like you said, I mean, there's zero tolerance, accountability. I mean, even when you just talking about that, I can think back of, I mean, if we had a guy, you talk about Barmore, right? He was a young guy when on our defensive line back 2018, my senior year, your junior year. He makes a mistake, he's goofing around, whatever, zero tolerance. We're jumping guys, we're holding people to a standard. And you're 100% right. It's so important that you have that level of accountability. Even back in 2016, when we both were young, playing behind Ryan, Tim, those guys, it still was nothing for us. I mean, if you saw something, if you had to check somebody, that was allowed. That was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we had that ability to do that because we had self-accountability amongst each other. And it does just feel like, and not just here, but in, really across college football, it's harder to come by now because I just don't think a lot of guys have that same level of passion for it like we did. Like when I see that clip that they posted about Ruben and just how close and connected that all of us were and how much it meant to us. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have these, cars to come back to or the big old condos. I mean, like we were shoot, we were trying to get it out the dorms. We were on the back steps on the stoops.
Yeah, but
what you say?
y'all
Well, you know about that. You don't know about that. You were in South Carolina. Hold on.
No, listen, I know about going getting that bag triple. Listen, Trey, I know about going to get that bag though. I know, I know about busting somebody up in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? The baby needs some diapers and milk. I know about that. Right? I don't know about no championship, but I know about being a champion as an individual. And let me just say, I'm saying no, because y'all didn't have whatever the handshakes or whatever somebody was putting in your pocket, a little cheese here and there, to do a couple of things. But y'all were not getting money, Anfernee, like these dudes are today, right? They walking around with a bag and Louis and diamond chain, diamond grills already, and really hadn't busted a grape. And that to me is a problem. I just want to ask you, a serious question. Would it be hard for you? If you came out of high school, right? You got a bag already. You're gonna make a half a mil a year. You in college. You got 2 Mercedes Benz, a G Wagon, and an S550 in your yard. What make it a half? What kind of drive would you have had? Would you have the same heart and attitude that you had now to make it to get where you are today?
Honestly, I don't think so. Like, like that kind of drove me through college, man. And I mean, that's still my drive. I ain't living like that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even to this day, like you know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes, I'm like, man, golly, like what have you done? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that's where we are with it, and it's like, it's to me it's unfortunate, and I don't think you can really tap into, like, you know what I'm saying, just your drive and like what's your purpose and all that other stuff, because like, the grind, that's where it build at. Like you suffer from, not having this, not having that, but now all of a sudden you've been given this stuff, and it's like, man, like this it's just setting you up for, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't even know, but, you know, it's cool right now. And, you know what I'm saying, like, I want them to get their money, whatever, I want you to get what you deserve. But, you know what I'm saying, like, just for you to be given this stuff out of high school, man, is insane. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I ain't hating them there like that, but it is what it is, man. Like, you know, I just think, you know, for me and the stuff that I've been through, like, you know, that helped me to this day still, you know, just being able to go through that grind and, you know, have to figure out certain things, not being handed certain things, and, you know, having to go earn everything that you got. Like, you know what I'm saying? It hit different.
But you said it all. I mean, you said it right there. Listen, you said, you know, deserve, and then you said earn, right? And here's the bottom line, brother. When you get to the grown man league, the NFL, you know, you got to earn, right? You might get a little bit of some breadcrumbs for getting drafted, your position in the draft, yes. But to have longevity, to have generational money, you got to get out there and earn. That's why I'm a little bit hating on them from getting that money, because I don't think you just give money to people that don't deserve it. That's why I don't like trust fund babies, because trust fund babies, they don't understand hard work. They don't understand lacing up the bootstrap. That's everything just handed to them, right? You're not gonna have the same heart. You're not gonna have the same attitude unless you got to freaking go out there and earn it. And if you got to go out there and beat said player to get that position, to be that final 53 on that roster, whatever it be, that becomes personal. And that's what I'm telling people. You know what I mean? Like, I sit there, bro. I was a 6th round pick. When I got Lawrence Taylor on one side, Carl Banks, Pepper Jones. I got Hall of Famers. I got all pros all around me, right? You know, who cares what I did at South Carolina? They ain't care about that. You know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do on Sunday, right? What I'm gonna do on Sunday. And so I had to look at these dudes. Ain't nothing personal, but bro, I gotta get mine, because I know I'm not gonna go home with a chemical engineer degree and make $250,000. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be broke, right? After sell a college career. So I'm saying to you, and you know this, and to the people that's listening, there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of, man, I got to go get mine. And if you come in there and you got money in college like this, you ain't going to have that desire. Man, if your ankle hurt, you making $500,000, you're not going to go out there and say, you know what, I'm practicing, I'm playing, right? Now, if you broke, bro, you better give me about 2 shots in my ankle, tape it up, spat me. I'm going to get on the field. Am I right?
Right. 100%. Me and female both can test to that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I was talking the other day, because I'm like, man, I just realized, I'm like, man, my back's been bothering me lately. And I'm like, bro, I'm either getting older. I think all them damn drills that I used to be doing with Tosh's ass starting to catch up. I'm like, lower back starting to hurt. I'm like, man, all that thing, lock, peek, shed, and tray drill. I'm like, man, it's finally catching. I thought I was rolling. Hey, Anf, I don't want to keep you too long, because I know we've had you for a minute, man, but I really enjoyed catching up.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I like talking to y'all, man. I'm chilling.
Oh, hell yeah. Nah, well, good, because I was like, man, it's been a minute. I hadn't caught up with my dog, man. I want to ask you, bring it back to college real quick. Being the alpha and that leader that you are, and that you've been, and that you were, especially here, you mentioned it, like that it seems like that might be lacking a little bit, at least where we're at now. If you had to give a message, or like talk to these guys, right? Because everybody always says this. They make it seem like, oh, we'll just go back and talk to them. I'm like, man, ain't that easy? I mean, former players are busy doing all this. But if you had to give them a piece of advice or some words of wisdom on like what this team needs to do to get back to that standard, and to have that same type of culture that we have, what would you tell some of these young leaders on this team?
I think in the end, man, because it ain't like we fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the stuff that we saying is, you know, it's the small stuff. Like, you know, just the stuff that we just recently talked about, just the accountability stuff, the just the identity. Yeah, that type of stuff. And I think that comes from the player, and, you know, them, you know, holding themselves accountable, and then holding the people around them accountable. And I think, you know, it's hard for you to say something when you're not doing it yourself. So, like, you know, we gotta have the guys that take pride in, you know, Coach DuBois, you know, what he believes in, and, you know, the stuff that the program is built off of, and you know, just
hold the people around them accountable, because, like, you know, it ain't that, like, the coaches can say all they want to say, but, you know, if the players and the people that you're seeing every day not, you know, not reinforcing that shit, like, you know, I didn't mean to cuss, but the players and the people around you, the players and the, you know, people around you, not, if they not enforcing that, then, you know, it's just going racing in one end out the other. Because I remember when I was a freshman, we had guys like Dylan Lee, Brian Cyrus, like all them Denzel, like them guys like that. Like, you know, the thing I remember the most about that season is just like buy in. They was already bought in. Like, you know, it was easy for us to come in and just, you know, go figure out what we need to do and get in with them and get on that train, or just go and, you know, do whatever. And like the people that did whatever, like, you weren't that long, because like you couldn't really, you know, they wouldn't allow it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just think that, you know, those guys did a good job of holding us accountable, not holding themselves accountable first, and buying into what the coaches believe in the program, and then they held everybody around them, you know, accountable. And, you know, that kind of was passed down, you know, the whole time we was there. And, like, you know, that's what we did. That's what we let the guys below us, you know, behind us do. And, you know, it was just passed down. I think, you know, it being the wild, wild west, now you don't never know what you're going to get out there, man. And it just, you know, we just got to find those guys, those core guys, man, that, you know, just believe into the program, and, you know, just going to reinforcing it and hold each other accountable, man. And, you know, I don't think it's a lot of what you say. It's like, it's what you do, man. Like, you know, like I said, man, you gotta be holding yourself accountable before you can say anything. Like, you know, you gotta show up every day ready to work and ready to, you know, do the right thing for yourself and the team. Like, so I think it starts there, honestly.
Absolutely. And this is why I love bringing you guys on here, because this is one thing, you know, I talk about all the time, and I think our listeners, they hear me, but when they hear some of my teammates, guys like you that they loved watching, that you guys lived it, they think of you guys as, you know, alphas, those leaders, those dogs, and then you explain how that worked. Just like I was talking earlier before you came on, you know, we were watching that clip with Ruben, and they showed Dylan Lee, and I just was explaining that, you know, nowadays these guys come in, they got their pockets full with cash, and then they're just immediately assimilated in the team, and everybody's like, you know, all cool and stuff. I'm like, when we got there, Dylan Lee used to basically haze me and Rashawn in 2014 every day in that meeting room. He used to sit there and laugh at us, mock us. He used to try to play with us, right? Until one day I had to address him.
You didn't even want to go in there.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, it took us to a point where I told the story, man. I'm in the weight room, man. He said something sideways. I said, man, nah, hell no. I had enough of this crap, man. Like, you ain't going to keep talking to me like this every day, bro. I ain't about to spend the next 2 years with you like this. And then I had to earn his respect. You know what I mean? Like, you had to earn the respect. And like you said, the older guys, when we talk about the standard nowadays, it just sounds like a catchphrase. Back then, it was a real thing. Like you said, those guys, it was taught to them by the Dante Hightowers, the C.J. Mosleys. So then the next guys, you know, Reggie Ragland, Trader Priest, they taught it to, you know, Reuben Foster, you, Mac Wilson, myself. And then it just kept going on. And then I think what happened was, this is what I think happened. As Coach Saban kept filtering through new coaches who hadn't coached here, which it wasn't his fault. It was a revolving door. We had so much success. I think naturally what happened was you're bringing in new coaches that don't really know it. And then each new class of young players, highly recruited guys, you know, they're coming in and they just expect, right? They just expect for things to keep going the way it's supposed to go. But that's just not how it works. And I think it just slowly kind of started being filtered out. And at this point, man, it's unfortunately kind of a little bit of a thing of the past. And I think it's important that they come up with their own new standard under Coach DeBoer. And I think if it can kind of model a little bit like what you just were describing, that would be a great recipe for success. And we're up against this break, man. So we're going to hit this timeout. But, man, I appreciate you jumping on here and hanging out.
Yes, sir.
I love this, man. And best believe we'll catch up soon, brother.
Man, no doubt, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, hit the Caribbeans, bro. You know, I know you still in shape. You know, let me give you quick advice. You got to take 2-3 weeks off. You got to take 2-3 weeks off, man. Don't lift weights. Don't run. You know, go out the country. You know, do your thing, man. Relax. You know, you got to do that. Get your mind right. Get your body back right. Let it recover. Let your mind recover. Then you come back, and then you get busy again, man. Guys that try to keep going, they're gonna burn out. You know, that's gonna come against your longevity, man. But you know, go there and get you some, you know, drink responsibly. I'm a pastor, but don't get drunk. But you can have a Mai Tai. You know what I mean? Get your Mai Tai, relax, bro.
Man,
God
you
bless you,
know
man.
what? He's an
God's
NFL
favor
vet
to
now.
you,
He
brother.
knows how to handle the offseason. He's
Man,
good.
appreciate you.
Always, bro. Love you, bro.
Man,
We'll see you.
All right.
man, love y'all too, man. Appreciate it.
Love you,
Peace.
big bro.
Always, brother. Good deal. All right, we got to hit this timeout. When we come back, we'll be a quick close right here on the Miller's Edge Tide 100.9 to 30 WTBC.
A KFC tail in the pursuit.
Man, that's my guy, man. Man, I'm glad I got to catch up with him. Where'd I go? All right, maybe I should just give up on trying to change these things around. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did, man. I love being able to catch up with my guys like that. Amp was my guy. Thanks, Reed. Yeah, Reed, hopefully everything is okay. I know we're going to have to squeeze this quick outro back. I apologize, man. I appreciate you being able to navigate that. Man, we got a super chat from Adam real quick that we need to hit, which we can stay a couple minutes after anyways. But Adam says, Corey, the 93 Giants were incredible. I was at the Redskins game when you crushed Ripien. Is that Brett Ripien? Is that his name? Yep.
Just Mark Ripien.
Just giving
Mark.
up.
Wait, who is Brett?
Running away.
Am I making that up? Is that his son or something?
Nah, Brett could be his son, but Mark Ripien was a quarterback. I know Mark. He's a good dude. He can hit the golf ball. What he said, I remember when he hit on Cunningham, Randall Cunningham too. Yeah, I do too. But matter of fact, I think I got a football card on both of those.
Yeah, you're talking about your hands are in the air. You had a million of them. You're running with your hands in the air. I know exactly what card you're talking about. It was against the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I probably got one of them around here somewhere. He said, Christian, speed and physicality, hoping Alabama gets back to that next season. What kind of speed were you playing with, though? I mean, you were 255, though. So I
was 265. But
okay. So is Adam right when he says play with speed, though?
Yes, sir. Adam knows
those.
That 93 defense was the #1 defense in the entire National Football. As a matter of fact, the best year I had that when I was an alternate All-Pro. I should have been first team All-Pro, but back in the day when All-Pro mattered, they would vote guys like that has been there 8 years. So we had my guys, and you had guys like Ken Schwelling, who played for the Saints, Ricky Jackson. Them guys went from, I joke with Ricky now, I'm like, dude, you know you were better than me back in them days. You were old, I was crushing. And yeah, those were great teams, man. We just, our mindset was about speed and physicality, stopping the run. Something just similar to what Anfernee said. That's how we played defense, because Mike Vrabel, you know, the whole Belichick thing was it's the same thing. I mean, physicality, setting the edge, as y'all call it, you know, but we destroyed tight ends. No tight end could not dare block. You better not let a tight end block you. I mean, coaches snatch you out so fast. We destroyed them. We didn't let receivers run down the football field, what they call now free releases. We didn't believe in free releases. We believe in rerouting, posting, jamming. We practice that, sliding your feet, jamming guys in the chest, making them make that route go wider. We rerouted those receivers. They don't do these things today. That's why I said to you, even with regular personnel at times, we can play nickel, regular against nickel, because I can slide out, because I can play in space in a 5-yard box, because I can destroy that guy, right? So it was fun, man. It was fun.
And welcome back in, and we'll see you guys later pretty much. This is a hello and goodbye.
Friday's the weekend.
Yeah,
everybody's working for the weekend.
Absolutely, and that's
and go to YouTube, man. Check out my page. Check out at 1334, man. If you want some good preaching, some real good shorts on there, man, that'll change your life. So go check it out. Check out your boy. I cut up on here, but go check me out when I'm in my when the lights on. Yes,
good
sir.
deal. So check them out.
I'm out.
Check us back out next week right here on the Miller's Edge. That'll do it for us on this Friday edition. Big shout out to Anfernee Jennings, who just joined us on the phone lines, man. Love hearing from him.
Appreciate it, Adam.
And listen to it. And big shout out to our guy, Adam of Lamprolo Law, lamprolo-law.com. We'll see you guys Monday right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
You've been listening to the Miller's Edge, tackling sports daily.
Charles, thank you, Reed. I appreciate
you
that,
picked
man.
up some followers on from Columbia yesterday. Some girls, they're like, man, I love the podcast.
In Columbia, the Alabama fans?
Yeah, in Columbia.
Oh, you were playing the podcast or something?
Nah, they knew that I do sometimes do it.
Yeah, man, keep spreading it back home, man. Keep growing the thing. Sorry, I had to rush out of there just because we were against time, and I don't want to, I don't want to run over. But man, that was fun, man. I'm glad we got Anfernee here. I'm gonna have to cut that up because he had a lot of good stuff, man. Really good stuff from him.
Are just running away because they're uncomfortable, because emotionally they're not meeting my needs, or physically they're not meeting my needs, or whatever. They go, I'm going to go find somebody. That's the short I just did. These are folks, this is Christians.
Who is doing your little thumbnails?
Stand at the altar and make a covenant and say till death to us support. Yeah.
Who's doing the thumbnails? Thumbnails look really good and official. Matter of fact, I'll throw one up here real quick. And Adam,
if you put a church service, you put up the church service. My guy Vartavius, he's a guy that's I hired to. He's going to end up being part of our young adult leading group ministry. He does a great job of social media stuff now, so he's cutting some stuff off for me.
No, but I'm saying the thumbnails. Who's doing the thumbnails? The thumbnails look they look good.
Well, he's doing that. He's doing that.
These thumbnails right here, man. He kind of copied the one that I made for
Which
you
one?
as a sample. I made that one as a sample. He low key is kind of.
Well, if you'd have been doing it, then I could have saved some money, not pay him. But that's cool.
Well, I mean, I can always help, man. I told you I help, but oh wait, there you go. Now you can see it. Those top three, man. These right here. I don't think I can zoom in. Oh wait, I can. Yeah, those look good, man.
This first one, from believer to disciple, that was a powerful. Yeah, subscribe. Hit your boy up on 1334 Church. We just getting started.
That's his YouTube channel right there for the church. If you guys want to check that out,
we real. We ain't no superficial church. I'm real about it. That's why most pastors would never tell Anfernee to go get him a Mai Tai. That's there's nothing wrong with drinking or having a drink. Let me rephrase: having a drink or two. The Bible speaks against drunkenness, but anything when you overindulge in, like a lot of pastors I knew would preach all of us down. Y'all leaving the club, coming to the church. Y'all leaving the woman's bed and coming to the church, which a lot of that was true. But then the problem I had was then he'd be at the house and then he'd eat 5-6 pieces of fried chicken, fat back and everything.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Some of my old school preachers back in the day, which they didn't realize that overindulgence is a sin.
How do you know what they're doing?
Because my mama was always cook Sunday dinner for the pastor.
No, okay, but the dinner part, but you talking about rolling out a women's bed. How do you know what they do?
No, he was preaching saying that's what people were doing.
I thought you said your pastor was doing that. I'm like, it sounded like
no. He wasn't doing that, but he was eating a whole lot of unhealthy food.
Tia said you're sitting there looking like TD Jakes. Let's put it back on the screen real quick. You kind of do. Adam, thank you seriously so much, man. Seriously, thank you. And over the weekend,
they call me that sometimes. They be like, boy, you be preaching like TD Jakes.
Get that fixed, man. Freaking new camera. I had to go back to the old camera today, man, because literally it was like, I think what's happening is I have a external plug, and I think it's throwing the whole system off, so I'm gonna get that cleaned up for the weekend. And I got some new lights I'm ordering too, which would be good. But you do kind of look like TD Jakes, though. Just being honest.
Well, TD Jakes walks in a very awesome anointing, and that brother.
Because then I thought he got caught at the Diddy party.
Man, stop all that. See, that's what y'all listen to this worldly crap.
I'm saying that was being reported.
I thought, they could say it. Let me tell you something. They talked about Jesus, so it's no shock. I mean, you know what I mean? Even if he went to the Diddy party, so what? So, I mean, my point is.
So what?
No,
who's preaching the word of God?
He didn't know that Diddy had baby oil and all this crap that came out later on. That was years before.
So what?
That was, but he didn't ever been. He even said, even Lecrae. You ever heard of Lecrae, the Christian rapper?
Lecrae, yeah.
Yeah, he said he was there. I know a pastor that was one of them. It was, as a matter of fact, it was P. Diddy's birthday. That's where he went to. And matter of fact, a friend of mine who's a pastor, big time pastor. We was playing golf. He said the same thing. He said none of that. They were all together. They were there 20 minutes just to support the man's birthday. They was about, but people gonna take a clip, this or that, and they're gonna turn it into that. So man, yeah, don't listen to all that foolishness. That's a bunch of foolishness, man. Bunch of foolishness.
I'm just saying what I heard. I'm not.
Yeah, but then you started, but you can't like judge people based on social media. You know, we
I
hear a
didn't
lot of
fully
stuff.
judge him. I just said just
T.D.
don't.
Jakes is an anointed brother, and he's a
Okay,
great
so
preacher.
Fair enough. So what about the guy that was like flying to church in the helicopter? The old
Ain't nobody
old
flying
man.
no church on helicopter.
Oh,
Who was flying to church in a helicopter?
that old pastor, he's an older white guy, I think, and they interviewed him. He was
I
getting
don't
out of his Escalade into like the helicopter, and they asked him about it. I mean, dude was, I mean, they must have been tithing real good at that church. I'm just saying. I mean,
Well, see, this is what people do. People will start using what other people are doing wrong to take the camera off themselves for what they're doing wrong. And well, I ain't going
are you
to.
saying that's what I'm doing?
It could be. It could be.
What?
But my
What
point
are you
is,
talking about?
they
I'm
take the
setting an
camera off
example.
themselves and instead of looking at how they live and what they do and how they're sinning and get their life right. But they want to point to the pastor. Oh, the pastor. Well, the pastor got to stand before God for himself. I stand before. That's Kenneth
Without the
Copeland.
airplane that I bought from Timbuktu.
Is it Kenneth? Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah,
pay
he.
anywhere.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Now that guy, I
He
can't
made
say the
it.
same thing.
He made that airplane so cheap.
But just
for me,
like
I
every
couldn't
lawyer,
afford to
every
buy it.
doctor, every radio host, there's bad in every group. You can't use that for an example. That's why
No.
you study to show yourself approved. You read the word of God so you know the word of God. So as the Bible talks about, that you're not tossed to and from by every type of teaching, because there's false prophets in the way. You know, you have to be able to know God's word instead of just I'm going to church just to hear what they're saying and then I'm gonna believe everything. See, that's the problem. There's too many people. They don't read God's word. They don't follow Jesus in their own way. They expect some man who's a flesh man like me and like every other preacher, even though they're anointed and called by God, don't mean that they always do right. They can do wrong. They can screw up, mess up, just like anybody else. So the best thing for you and anybody else is to study to show yourself approved, because you got to stand, I got to stand, the preacher got to stand, the Pope got to stand before God for himself, and then he's the final judge. So that's all I'm saying. I don't get caught up in all this other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, man, I know who I am. I know what the words say.
Why
I
are you
study.
why are you taking it like no? I was talking about you. I'm talking about.
I ain't talking about no. I'm just saying to me. I ain't worried about that.
I
I'm just saying.
was laughing because I'm saying that, to be fair, this guy was this
Kenneth
whole deal
Copeland was,
wild.
yeah. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
this whole deal was a little wild.
well,
I'm not
he
gonna lie
was
to you.
he was Creflo Dollar, who's in Atlanta, sat up under him. You know, that was the whole name it, claim it thing. And then even Creflo Dollar has said that he has messed up being, you know, under that teaching and how his heart was wrong. And he repented and
So
changed his life.
he's blaming it on this guy.
No, he didn't blame the guy. He said he was wrong. He didn't say, he said he was
Hmm.
wrong. You know what I mean?
I don't know about all that stuff, man. I just like I said, man. I just it's all
like I was saying,
one thing about TD Jakes, man.
You
I was
better
hurt, man.
listen to that sermon, believer or disciple. Let me give you one scripture for the people that are listening. Matthew
we still
chapter
got people
7.
hanging out in here. What you
Okay,
got?
let me give you something that'll really help you. I'm
Wait,
saying
help
you as
me. Wait,
I'm
what?
saying you as people that are listening, that will listen.
Okay.
Narrow is the gate that leads to life, which few will find it. That means heaven. That means eternal life. He says that gate is going to be narrow, meaning there's not going to be a whole lot of people that's going to walk through that gate. But wide is the gate that leads to destruction, meaning that's hell. That's apart from God. So my whole thing is every individual got to stand before Christ for themselves. So they can say, well, the pastor said this, and the pastor was getting out of a helicopter, and the pastor had red bottoms and driving a Bentley. Well, he got to stand before God if his heart's wrong and doing. But but what did you do? What did you do? So that's all, you know. We can sit and look at all this other stuff and say all this other stuff, and this guy got this, and he drive this, and Joel Osteen got a big old house, and you know, that's the other thing. A lot of people.
Well, it sounds like you take it personal, man. I
No,
mean,
I'm not,
is
because
somebody
it
come
was
at you or something?
no. I'm sure they do. I expect them. If they coming at me, that means I'm doing something right, like radio, right? If they are coming at you, that means you're doing a good job. I learned that in New York media. If they ain't talking about you, then you ain't doing something right.
That's true. Depth chart at the Wolf position. Sorry, real quick. Somebody asked a football question. I understand we'll leave them hanging. There is none right now. I don't even know if the coaches have their own depth chart. They probably have something that they have in mind. But if I had to just
Man, get that man
guess,
off the screen.
Dang. Well, I mean, boy, he's your brother in Christ. I would say.
I don't know if he's my brother in Christ. I don't know him.
Yonze Pierre, Justin Hill. I mean, those two for sure. And then you got, in my opinion, I think Zulu, the transfer from South Carolina, I think he's going to play a little Wolf. To me, I don't know how to pronounce his full name. Zulu.
Oh, that outside backer. Yeah.
I think he's more of a Wolf than a Bandit, just because I think, he can play some Bandit, I think, in certain situations, but I think on like an every down basis or early down basis, he'll probably, play a little Wolf. But then you also got to remember you got Jamarian Latham that was just granted the 7th year of eligibility because of the neck injury. And he was initially a Bandit, then got moved to Wolf last season. So he's got flexibility. I expect him to go back to Bandit because he's one of the few guys that is like a true Bandit prototype, in my opinion, in terms of like build and how he plays. But I think you got the flexibility. So say you got some injuries at Wolf, you got guys like Zulu who's going to probably get some reps at Wolf. You got Jamarian Latham who's played Wolf. Those will be in that mix. But I think the top 2 contributors at Wolf, without a doubt, Yonze and Justin Hill. And then you'll probably kind of see other guys flexed around there. But you did lose some guys. I mean, Noah Carter, you lost him. You lost Quay Rusaw. So that's where I think Zulu comes in, adds some depth there. Maybe a young guy as well. One of these freshmen could potentially be like a serviceable guy at the position. But majority of the time, you'll see Yonze and Justin without a doubt. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You don't want him on the screen though. Sorry. I don't know who this guy is. I never heard the sermons. I just saw the clip of him talking about his explanation for the plane or something. It's just kind of crazy. I mean, we both can agree that you don't need to fly to church, right?
No.
Caleb Woodson is an inside linebacker. He plays inside backer, not outside.
Don't need to fly to church unless you overseas, some in Africa or something.
Wait. You mean like you're flying to the right? Okay.
If you overseas doing mission, and that's the only way you can get there. Well, that's different. Not here in the States.
Why? Wait, you can drive in Africa,
bro. Well, the coaches need to fly, use helicopters to fly to the school.
That's a great question. Yeah, you know what's funny? Listen, I don't know how that
wasting the school money. Can they not drive their car? But nobody said nothing about that. But let a passer take a helicopter or plane.
Wait.
Now they got a problem.
Let me chime in.
Go for it.
No. I was going to say, if that is using resources, right, that could be allocated elsewhere, I think you need to cut that crap out too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know you get style points, but I don't know the reasoning behind it or who started it. Like I don't know if it's the transportation's a lot quicker. You got to think they are bouncing from place to place. They're trying to hit as many stops as they can. It might just be easier to hire a helicopter service to go boom, hit this school and that school. If it's for efficiency and it makes sense financially, that's one thing. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different because you got to think about it. They're on the clock. They've got to hit as many schools, as many kids before they got to get back. So if it's all reasonable, cool. But if you're talking about wasting resources, nah, they need to cut that crap out. Now, you talking about preachers, they need to get their ass in a vehicle, and even if they have a driver, they can get a Sprinter or whatever. But they don't need to fly to church. That's ridiculous.
A lot of times they go on mission trips in different countries. I want to see where somebody flew to the church. And
Tia said in LA it actually might make sense. Tia says if
the traffic.
Say you're a pastor of maybe 2 churches or you have 2 different services you got to do, the traffic could definitely. I mean, that's
we have problems when the preacher do so. People think preachers should be broke.
This is coming from a place.
And I'm giving because people talk like this all the time. They think, oh well. Did they?
Somebody made a comment about that Escalade.
Yeah, about mine.
I'm saying, I'm assuming. I'm like, this coming from a place of you like, man, you got to get something off your chest, man.
No, I don't. My point is this: people complain with pastors if they don't understand the hard work and you're responsible for people's souls, man, and it's a lot of work. I mean, and then they don't think pastors should live a certain way. They should be broke. Hey, Jesus walked. This ain't back 2,000 years ago. Jesus wouldn't be like the monks walking 2,000, something miles to the DC. No.
Why not?
They don't. Because Jesus could just show up there. Jesus be like, I'm in DC. Listen, ain't have to walk. Well, my point is this, man. If you're doing the work of an evangelist, you're doing the work of the Lord. The Lord knows people's heart. You know what? I'm what pastors, they working their tail off, having a nice living in a nice, safe neighborhood, driving you a nice car. I drive a nice car. Long the Lord allow me to get one, I'm going to get one. I travel, I preach, I do a lot of stuff. So, he's driving this. Well, so what? The car is not God. The car is a transportation. Yeah. Is it nice? Yeah. I'm going to have, like I said, I ride an Escalade 100%. And ain't nothing wrong with it. As long as the Bible says to seek ye first his kingdom, his righteousness. That's the main. Him first. So, it ain't the car. It's seeking Yeshua. Yeshua is the reason.
There you go. Well,
y'all ain't giving me no money up in here for these words I'm giving y'all. I didn't ask. Yeah, I am. Put my cash up.
What are you talking?
Put my cash up there. And I'm like,
you must have had.
I'm just kidding.
I don't even know where this came from, other than somebody mentioned you like TD Jakes, and I just said, well, just some about the.
I said Jakes is anointed brother. Wait a minute. Did he go to P. Diddy party?
I just was asking because that was the thing.
I don't know if he did or not.
Well,
I wasn't there.
Well, I mean, listen, you got.
If
AI.
he did,
Here,
that's up to him.
Let's see what AI thinks. AI might have an answer. I mean, I'm just saying that was the latest I heard of him.
I've been to a lot of hootie parties. I've been to a lot of other parties.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been to a lot of parties, but I don't think they were doing what Diddy was doing at his parties. I think that's the biggest difference, brother. I mean,
now who said that was going on at the party in which he was at? That's what I'm saying.
But I
it was his birthday party.
Listen, it's just if your name is connected to Diddy or another man.
What if I'd have went to the party? I'd been out there. I knew somebody. Like I'd go to Anthony Brown's golf event, people, and I go to a party and P. Diddy was there, so people would automatically assume that I know about baby oil and all the freak offs that he was doing. Come on, man, stop all that foolishness.
What are you talking? Listen, there's a difference between being at a golf event with the brother or attending one of his.
If that was his birthday party, this was not a freak off.
Allegedly, there was different. Yeah, that's what I said. Allegedly, there was different parties. I think.
This was his birthday party.
Okay,
there was a lot of different people there.
Why is he friends with P. Diddy though?
Why you can't be friends with P. Diddy? I'm friends with a lot of music people that I've met over the years. They still my friends.
That's fair.
I married them. I've married some that are Christian. I married some that that have died and did funerals for two people already. And one of them, which I married, and he died. I did his funeral. The other one, I did his funeral. I married. You was at the one you went. I took y'all up there in the mountains. Remember when y'all went on that waterfall thing? Yeah, whatever. So my thing is,
getting married though. That wasn't.
Yeah, well, he died. That same guy died. The one that was out on the raft with y'all, he died. Had a heart attack working.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, years ago, but yeah, I mean, good people. I mean, I'm friends with people that may not be. I want to be friends with people that don't mean I have to do what they do. Don't mean I have. But if I'm pointing them to Jesus,
I'm just giving you a hard time, bro.
I know. I'm not saying. I'm just telling them. As long as you follow Jesus, when he sat with the Pharisees, and they were like, his disciples were like, "Hey, bro, what you doing hanging out with these terrible people? These are Pharisees. These are the tax collectors." And Jesus told them this. It's not the healthy people that need the doctor. It's the sick folk. And if you don't hang around sick folk, if you don't be around sick folk, how do you expect them to get healing? How do you expect them to get well? That's the message. I mean, now if I'm hanging out with a sick folk and I'm doing sick things, then I'm in sin, right? Which I've done before.
You gotta be careful too. That's
which I did. But I did that before. I've done that
before. You are the company that you keep, so you gotta.
You know what I mean? Drinking and if I'm out here slanging and banging and talking about I'm preaching and doing this, that's a problem.
Whoa. Brother,
I keep it real. I said that was you come to I keep it real, bro.
No, you do, but we got to work on your terminology though. You can't say
it don't matter.
Banging,
you said what people gonna
26, you can't say slanging and banging like that.
I can't say it in my church. I say it all the time.
I wouldn't use that in your church, brother. That's how you get clipped, and you don't want to be a clip, man.
Clip me.
No, don't. Let's not do that. I did ask AI. It does say TD Jakes was in fact at a Diddy party. Now it does say that he allegedly sources say he admitted to stopping by Puff Daddy's house for 30
There
minutes,
you,
just 30 minutes.
that's
To
what I
say
just
happy
told you.
birthday. Just to say
I
happy
told
birthday.
you that.
Then he left, but he reiterated that it was only 30 minutes. He said happy birthday. He distanced himself from the rumors because he knew everything that was kind of coming from it. And
That's what I just told you. You didn't have to go to AI. I told you that. My pastor friend was there.
But how would you know?
Because my pastor friend who was there at the party, who's a big time, I'm going to say his name. He was there. He stopped by too.
So there were multiple preachers at the Diddy party. You need, I mean, that might be
I don't
breaking
need to do
news.
anything. I ain't breaking
That
no
might be
news.
breaking news, man.
I'm just saying the facts. I mean, so judge not lest you be judged.
Listen, I think you took something and ran with it, brother. I promise nobody was. This had nothing to do with you. It wasn't pertaining to you at all, by the way.
Well, I'm preaching good.
Other than you look like TJ. Yeah, no, I know. We still got folks in here listening, man.
Because it's the truth. I mean, listen, the one thing about me.
This is a sneak peek of 1334 Church. If you guys want to.
Thing about me, I'm just real. I preach. I preach
stop
real.
by for an oil change. Oh man,
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, some of them same people that's joking gonna wish they had fire hydrants and water.
There you go. See, like,
they were gonna wish they had fire hydrants and water.
They made a joke. See, now that's what y'all preachers need to stop doing. All that threatening that y'all do. Oh, y'all say this. I hope you got plenty of water. Like that. That's where y'all use that as a weapon. Y'all gotta stop weaponizing that book, man. Y'all, that's
weaponize. We just tell you the truth.
No, that's weaponized.
Now y'all won't see the Bible.
Don't weaponize that.
You won't tickle the ear. They won't tickle the ear preaching. They want to just feel good and say, "I went to church," and then they go back home. They don't want somebody to tell them that the gate is narrow that leads to heaven and the gate is wide that leads to hell. And if you die without Jesus Christ, that you're gonna open your eyes. That's fact. That ain't no weaponized. That's true.
No, but you can't weaponize saying, "Oh, because you made a joke about TD Jakes." Oh, that gate getting a little wider for you because you joked on TD Jakes. Nah, you can't do that, man. That's crazy. Come on, man. Nah, that's weaponizing, bro. You can't do that.
Well, let's get you back in the church. Let's get you back in the church first.
I watch church. I watch church in Spanish, brother. I'm killing two birds with one stone.
No. Why about go to church?
Sí, voy a hablar español a la vez.
Well, how do you say this? Translates to this, yo Espanol friends. Do not forsake the gathering, the Bible says. It says, do not forsake it. It means go to church. Don't mean that you watch it on your iPad.
But hold on. See, now you're starting to cast stones, though. Come on
now. I'm just giving you the scripture.
Supposed to be, so it says in the scripture, thou shalt not watch
Google
broadcasted service.
Ask AI this.
Say that.
Does the Bible say anything about not forsaking the gathering? Do AI right now. Do it right now.
Wait, no. All right. What do you want me to ask you? What do you want me to ask?
Ask AI, does the Bible say, do not forsake the assembly of the brethren? See what it says.
Do not forsake the assembly of the brother?
Yeah, of the brethren. Brethren, it's a BRETHREN. Brethren.
Do not forsake the assembly of the brethren. Bible verse? That's what you want?
Yeah. That is the verse, but it will tell you where it is.
Do not forsake the assembling. What verse is that? Paraphrase encourages believers not to neglect gathering together, but instead to encourage one another, especially as the day of Christ approaches.
Come on, somebody! You can watch. Listen, you go here. Let me give you this.
Hold on. Let me shut down this whole silliness you're talking about. Did you not just do a virtual service? I just saw your virtual sermon the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it ain't snow and ice on the ground of people, and you don't forsake it for the health of the folk, for the safety of the people.
Oh my God!
That's like when COVID hit, they had to have virtual. See, y'all taking stuff and trying to spin it. Stop trying to spin it now.
I'm not spinning anything. I'm just saying you did a virtual service.
I did it right from the hotel room because we couldn't go to church because the roads were iced up and snowed up. And you people down south can't drive in the rain or if it snows and get ice.
Dude that was born and raised in the South and lives in the South.
I lived in New York and I lived in Minnesota, both. So I learned.
So now you're a Yankee because you spent 8 years up there.
I'm a believer. I'm a disciple. Call me disciple.
See, it's this.
So go to church. Don't forsake the assembly. Let me just tell you this why the scripture says that. It says that because one, we have a gift. So God has gifted us. There's a gift in all of us. So you take your gift and you use it for the body of Christ. The body, the church. People say the church, the church, the church isn't the building. The church is people. That word, don't forsake the assembling. That's why it says the assembling of the brethren, meaning people, not the building. You go, church can be with people. Oh, you can have, they used to have house church in Acts. They started having church in people's houses, and they have no church building. See, we get people that worship a church building, which is nothing, don't mean anything. The people that who have accepted Christ is the church, the body of believers. Ekklesia is the Hebrew Greek word. That's what the ekklesia, right?
Right.
And so the building church means basilica. Okay, that's like the building, and so. So you don't forsake that because you got a gift. You take that gift, you help the body out. Or when you're going through stuff, the reason why the gatherings are good, you get to know people. When you're going through, you're sick, you need help, and you shut in. People bring food. They come pray with you. They love on you. They help you going through hard times. That's why you need the church, a body of believers, to help you when you're struggling with sin or you're going through a divorce or whatever it be. That's what the gathering's about. It's hard to do that when you don't know nobody. If you just watch it on TV or on your iPad or your cell phone. But we have a church right now because I see two, and then I don't even know how many in the chat room. We having church absolutely right. This is church.
But that's contradicting yourself because you just said streaming church is for, what is it saying? What was the thing?
I said we're two up there gathered together. Jesus Christ is there.
You're approving of this.
No, I'm not approving. I'm saying you don't go. See, you one of them dudes. So you always done this. You try to twist word and make stuff fit your narrative instead of hearing the truth. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you the truth, and now you don't. See, see, that's what. But see, sometimes when you,
I'm lit. That is that not what I'm just saying. You just
see what I got. Let me get it in. See what I got right here. I got right to my.
Oh my gosh, brother.
But listen. Chat, I can't see what y'all are saying, chat, but somebody's saying amen on that chat.
The most recent chat says Pastor is contradicting himself. That's the last chat.
How am I okay, ask him how am I contradicting myself.
That's what the last chat says. It says
all right, well, ask him, whoever said that, I can't see it. How am I contradicting myself?
You what?
I was just saying church don't have to be in the building. The gathering, we're gathering now. That's y'all are not even listening. That's why I said gathering, the assembly of the gathering. We're gathered together right now, even through this.
So what I'm saying is, if we're gathered right now, how is that different than gathering via an iPad?
Because you get to know people. I just told you. If you got sick,
I got that part.
And
I understand.
And you can use your gift. What the gift got to help the gathering? That's why. What's up, CJ? I see CJ back there.
Yeah, he's cracking up back there.
How about them women Gamecocks last night came and beat y'all down like y'all stole something?
They beat my team. Yeah, y'all not even listening. Wait, he's a strict pastor. He is.
Maybe I'm a strict pastor.
Tia said you're a strict pastor.
I'm not strict. I'm just giving you the word of God.
Y'all do kind of favor. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all do kind of favor each other. Y'all do favor. He said,
I'm just giving you the word.
Parties, but I was at the Hootie parties.
I wasn't pastoring. I wasn't pastoring then.
Nah, this is what I would say. I would just offer you this though. I think sometimes, and I know the message that you're sending is it's great intentions, but it does kind of come off as very almost like harsh, judgmental, like, oh, that's not it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not for me. I'm used to it. I already understand it. I'm saying maybe if you're trying to connect with younger audiences that you might be trying to encourage to come, maybe just work on that part of it. I know that goes against what you stand for. You're old school. You tell it how I see. I'm just giving you.
How would translate that to young people? Then how would that sound like?
I would just say, I mean, listen, I understand you guys. Where are you finding this?
Those are things I post. That's me and Missy and my friend Becky.
He's so stupid.
But see, that's a trick right there.
Darnell,
See,
that's you.
Yeah, that is me with my wife and then two of her friends. Yep, sure
I
is.
know. He's just being dumb. He's just being dumb.
I've been stupid, but that's
No, he's just being dumb. Oh, to answer your question though, wait, what was it? You said how would I relay that? No, I would just recommend them. Say, listen, I understand nowadays this generation is very, very convenient, much easier, very accessible to pull up a stream and watch. But I highly encourage you guys to join, right? And then you can start mentioning the verse, or you know what I mean, like the Bible says this, and like you mentioned all those examples. It is great to have a team, right? A little community. I think you go from there. But I think when you start saying, "Oh, the gate is thin for the golden and the wide for the," like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, when you start almost like threatening the type, it's not threatening, but it comes off.
No.
Hey, well, if you don't do this, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna be straight up. At least for me, that kind of turns me off. That's kind of like, okay, that's a little much.
Well, the Bible will turn you off because I'm just repeating what the scripture says.
No, you're right.
I'm not saying anything. That's what the words you can read in Matthew chapter 7. So then let God piss you off or turn you away, because that ain't what Corey says. That's what the scriptures say. So you can take that out however you want to take it. But what I know is this: I rather tell somebody the truth, and then something, and God calls them home, and a drunk driver hit them, or they. Okay.
Well, I'm saying, but think about
so
the
they
people
got a choice. We all have a choice. That's for me too. That ain't just for them.
But think about the people that stand on the road with the signs that like literally are like basically say, "Hey, pretty much all you guys are going to whatever." Like, does the Bible say things like that? Sure. That doesn't mean you need to stand on the side of the road and literally just say, "If you do this, you're this, that," and just hold a sign in somebody's face. Like, come on now. You see what I'm saying? It's about the delivery, the presentation. And that to me, especially now more than ever, people. Younger generations, we talk about it with NIL all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like, you talk about coaches can't coach the same. I think you should probably take that philosophy and maybe apply it. Not necessarily
my philosophy works. My philosophy.
I'm not saying necessarily you, but I'm saying in general. Maybe I think that could be applied as well to
but here's
the church. I think that could also be applied.
Listen, I understand grace.
That makes sense.
I understand mercy, because nobody's been given more grace and more mercy than my own life. That's why you hear me. That's why I said you come to my church, you hear honesty from my own walk, how awful I was, how much I screwed up, how much I failed. But the love of God, I talk about that all the time. I put myself on the forefront. So, but the still don't change reality. I mean, the reality is Jesus is the way. John 14:6. Look that up. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except having a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's not about being, I'm a nice person, I give to the poor, I don't treat people wrong, which a lot of people use that. We're good people, but that ain't what the Bible says how you get to heaven. Now, those are works. Those are fruits, I should say, after the fact, your relationship. Those are good fruits of the Spirit. Love, kindness, long-suffering, all those good things. But
hold on, let me ask you a question, because I don't want to forget this. And this, I think, I don't want. I mean, this is just. I don't know. So I always hear that, right? You talk about like you got the example of a great person, caring, empathetic, does everything the right way, treats others, in phenomenal fashion, right? Their utmost character and all that good stuff. But you say no, but that's not how it works. You got to accept. But then you have somebody who's a piece of crap, and then they do all this bad stuff, and all of a sudden they just go, all right, now I'm going to accept this. You're telling me that person is going to have the edge over somebody like the first example, just because? No, I'm asking. I'm saying, so you just have a dude that just committed the most heinous crime, but then he goes, all right, I'm sitting myself, I'm going to accept this, accept Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Then, but you got one person who's, they might not join the church or go to the church. They believe in God, but they're a really good person. You see what I'm saying? Like that, it's kind of hard.
That's why you got to listen to that believing to the side. Well, here's an example I can give you biblically.
Does that make sense?
No, I know what you're saying. Right. But I can say this. When Jesus was hanging on the cross, he was in between two thieves. And that one thief says, hey, basically said, will you please remember me in heaven, paradise? And Jesus said, today you'll be with me in paradise. and he was a thief. He was a bad person. But on his last, he gave himself to Jesus Christ. So yes, that can happen.
No, I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm
Yeah,
saying when
it
you
can.
stack
I
those
mean,
things,
yes, but
like, to
the,
me,
the
that's just
point
kind of like
is,
that's
the point is, there are people that have lived life for 50, 60, 70 years, living for their flesh, doing horrible things, bad things. It could be good. Listen, I was a good person. I always been a good person.
No, I want to be
No,
clear. I
no,
want to
let
be
me.
clear.
I'm trying to make it clear for the
I was
people.
responding. No, I was responding because the chat is agreeing with what you're saying. I just want to respond.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those people would not be accepted. I'm not saying that's not what I meant. I'm saying when people say, "Oh, well, you can have a person who's a great person, this and that." I'm not saying someone that's a great person that's denying. I'm saying a great person that might not necessarily attend church every Sunday because they
My
feel they have a
brother, my
relationship that they
oldest
walk.
brother just died. My oldest brother, Billy Toby, just died. Right.
Mhm.
My biggest thing was for him was I didn't know if he was a Christian because I ain't been around him, and we're 20 years apart. And I know he was an alcoholic, and I knew that he used to be, and I didn't know what his relationship was. Like Seneca, my Wanda, my other brother, like I know who they are, and I know who they serve. So they know who I am and who I serve. But I didn't know. So that I went to when I was visiting him in the hospital, I wanted to make sure. The nurse said, that she prayed with him and he accepted the Lord. So I had peace. When I preached his funeral, I had peace about it because I knew what the Bible says when someone falls asleep on this side of heaven, what their eternal home is. Right? I knew that. So I had comfort. And now, did my brother go to church every Sunday? Did he, I'll tell you, he wasn't doing that. I can tell you that he was asking for a little snip.
Cigarettes.
Huh?
Cigarettes. I remember last time I went down there, he just wanted
Well,
cigarettes.
that ain't about the cigarettes. It was about
No,
the
I thought that's what you were
alcoholism.
saying.
About the
Okay, my bad. I thought you were talking
alcoholism.
about the cigarette. I was
But
about
I
to
don't
say
think
he
he
was
wasn't
sneaking out he was sneaking out
alcoholic in the later part of his life. He wasn't an alcoholic. But I don't know what his relationship was with Jesus Christ. So I wanted to make sure that because that's important. And that's why.
I understand that. No, I want to be clear. I'm not saying, just because they did all that, then they last.
Somebody can be the most absolute. Listen,
I was saying to your
there's
point when
some
you were
nice
saying like
people out here, but that don't know. I was nice. I was a good person, but at the same time, I was cheating. I was drunkenness. I was doing some foolish stuff. But yeah, you meet me. I was a nice, kind person. Helped you out. Gave money to the poor. Did this. Did I do all that? But the relationship part was whack. I knew of God. I believed God sent Jesus to die for me. I believe, but my life didn't produce good fruit. It produced bad fruit. That's all I'm saying. So the people need to understand that's why there's a difference between, but just a believer, I'm a believer, and then I don't change my life. There's no transformation. We call that sanctification. That we call that metamorphosis. There's no, I'm a caterpillar, I'm in a cocoon, then I'm a butterfly. Beautiful. That's the transformation I'm talking about. Like, they has to be that. Even in my latter years, that's like I'm different than I were 2 years ago because I know the importance
that's normal.
Of telling people the good news and living my own life in a way that's worthy of my calling. That's why I don't do things like I used to do and go places like So it's like it's just that when you get to that place, you about serving and disciple means I'm a student, mean I'm a follower. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, not just a knower of Jesus Christ. I don't even know that's a word, but it sounded good.
Yeah, knower. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think you can
So,
get that.
but
No, it makes
yeah.
good. Look, listen. I think a lot of people in chat actually, believe it or not, are enjoying the discussion, man.
No, it's like, man, we got to get to a place
Stop.
where we all are one heartbeat away, every one of us, from standing in the glory of God. I mean, it's because of Him that keeps us here for a reason. So my whole thing is, if Jesus comes back right now and the sky crack open and He comes down, King of Kings tattooed on his thigh, where you gonna be? And you have it's too late after He comes back, but so I'm gonna take my chance of believing the Holy Scripture. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stand for the Lord. But I'm gonna be open and honest. I'm a pastor that believe in honesty, and hey, I'm not perfect. Don't have it all together. Sometimes I get mad and angry, and blah blah blah. I smoke a cigar. That ain't sin, but still, I'm not some The only perfect person is Jesus. But I strive every day to be more like him. I'm following him. Why? Through the reading of his word, whether it be on my iPad or the Holy in this book, and try to say, Lord, change your heart, the posture of what's the posture of your heart. That's what matters. And Christ knows exactly what that is. I can fool you. Don't do me no good to fool any of y'all. Don't matter. Y'all matter. I'm not saying in a bad way. Y'all don't matter because I have to stand before a holy God one day and for myself. And so do you. Everybody will. Every knee shall bow, every tongue will confess. Whether you believe it now, believe it later. I pray that you believe it now. I pray that you believe it now and accept that and follow so that you have your mansion, your name's written in the Lamb Book of Life. And so that's I'm saying that to all of you. I pray if you don't know him, hit me up on my email. I'll teach you about it, how it works, but you need to know him. And that ain't no angry, mean, fire and brimstone preaching. It's just fact and truth. All right, I don't even want a collection.
Good stuff. No, that's good stuff, man. Lead our folks off into the weekend on a nice little sermon. I forgot
Hit me
how
up
that even started,
at
man.
Pastor Payne 57 on Instagram. I'm on. I post most of my stuff on Facebook and YouTube at 1334 Church or at Pastor Payne. You'll see a lot of good. Just check it out, man. That's real stuff. I think it'll encourage you. It's real. I'm real about who I am. I'm real about as I talk sports. I'm the same way when I preach. I don't change. I'm the same way. I'm passionate about because when you've gone through stuff, when you've been suicidal, when you had a gun in your hand, when you had a stroke while driving on the interstate, nothing happened. That's only God that keeps you safe from all that stuff. So I know that I know that I know. So that's all I'm saying. Like I've been called to preach this gospel, and I ran for a long time, but that this is real stuff. It ain't no joke. Real stuff.
Good stuff, man.
All right, I'm done for the
Appreciate
day.
you sharing that. No, that's good, man. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope that it's a message you guys can carry into the weekend. Carry it with you as you hopefully have a safe, productive weekend. I feel like there's a lot of sports going on. You got baseball going, softball. I think they're away. At least I know baseball is, but
man, them Alabama girls can shoot them 3-pointers, boy. I tell you that.
They're playing some good ball, man.
They got a good team.
Yeah, no, it's
gave
fun,
us some
man.
problems
This time of
last
year's
night.
fun. Yeah, no, this time of year is fun, man. Softball, baseball opening up, and then basketball.
Man, it's 82 degrees here. It's 82 degrees right now.
We got 70. Hold on, I got my stock thing in the way. Let me pull up where's the 76 now.
I'm sitting out here at the park and just chilling. And
you need a dog, man. You need to get you a dog.
I've been thinking about getting me a little medium-sized dog.
Nah, you need to get. I'm
gonna go out. I've been looking.
Come here,
what?
Come here. Come on.
No, Leo too fat and out of shape.
He ain't. No, he's not.
I'm the one that's gonna be fat and out of shape, not my dog.
There you go. Come on. See, there you go. That's big Leo far. Hold on. Let me see if I. Oh God, he's about to unplug it. Come here. Come here. There you go, big guy. Oh my God, you're heavy. Come here. Lean up. Lean up. Lean up. There you go. There you go. That's my last.
Leo.
There you go. Look.
Look at him looking all scared.
That's my guy. That's my guy. All right, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, that's what you need, man. No, I'm telling you, man.
If I'm gonna get a big dog, it's gonna be a Rottweiler.
Well, you just need your little dog. I'm telling you, this dog right here, man. He goes everywhere. I ain't got to put him on no leash. Like, he sits next to me when I do this show. He just sits there. Follows me all around, man. That's what you need, man.
Yeah.
Dwight, man, appreciate that, brother. Oh, he said, Dwight said he's passing the offering plate, man. He left a $5 super chat, man. Big Red. That's right, From. Yeah, he's like, we call him Clifford sometimes. Big Red dog, man. He's 130 pounds. Big old dog, man. Big paws. He's a full-blooded lab, but he's fox red, man. He's pride and joy.
Well, donate that to 1334 Church, not me.
There you go, 1334 Church, man. Y'all check it out this Sunday, right? I mean, are you going to live stream?
Yeah, I'm preaching Sunday.
Are they permitted to live
stream? It's on YouTube.
I guess
it's at 5 o'clock. This is last week though for 5 o'clock, but next week starts 10 o'clock.
5 o'clock Central Time PM though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. In Eastern, you're on Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 o'clock Central Time. If you guys want to, damn, I'm out of breath holding Leo up. Yeah, if you guys want to check that out, 4 o'clock Central Time PM. But that said, all right, we'll get off here. Be
I'm
back
out.
Monday. I'll let you guys know on the schedule. I think we're going to try to get Nick Gentry on here. He was supposed to join yesterday.
Go with that.
He played here at Alabama. He's been coaching in high school, but he's got some ties with the new tight end coach. So I was going to get him on here, talk Alabama football, then kind of give his thoughts on the new tight end coach, kind of, what he
Need to get your softball coach back over to softball
Coach
and
Murphy?
baseball. And
Yeah, Coach Murphy will definitely jump on here. That's no problem at all. That's my guy, man. Baseball, I don't know if I know Coach Vaughn like that, but I could definitely reach out. I know Gary gets him on a lot, but yeah, Coach Murphy, man, I can just shoot him a message. He'd be happy to jump on here. And
well, you see, Georgia had 2 more. What's up with Georgia and all this speeding? They got 2 more players got yanked for driving with like these uncontrollable speed limit or speed. I mean,
no, I think the police over there are probably just on high alert. You know what I mean? Because just call a spade a spade. I mean, all young folks are driving around fast and.
Well, these $100 new cars, fast cars. I mean,
that don't help. I mean, it's too tempting when
I'm saying there need to be some solid teaching. There need to be some, Alabama got a good.
Why don't you go do it? You go do it. You do.
I would.
Like
if one of the school called me to lead, I've been trying to get South Carolina to bring me in. As I told them, I didn't even want no money. I wanted to minister to guys, to love on guys, to help guys. And I told him I'd do it through my ministry. I raise money for Giants for Christ. I'd do it for free. And all I got was, come around when you want to. I said, no.
Yeah.
If you want me to be, I want to be. I want it said that this is what I'm doing. I don't want the money. I'm not about it for the money. I'm about it for enhancing people's soul. I offer that to South Carolina. I used to do it at Allen. I don't know if you remember, at Allen University, black HBCU school in Columbia. Did it for free for a couple of years. I mean, it's about people's life, man. It ain't about I've offered this. I can help these young men so much, but
yeah, I told you I would love to do something like that here, but I mean,
they refuse to take the help. They refuse to take the help
side because I'm not qualified in that department yet. But yeah, no, I would love to do something like that here.
Well, if I get this one church I'm looking to get, hopefully down the road in Greenville, it's a very heavy Spanish community. So when God gets you right, and then you can do you can preach their sermons in Spanish. You can do the 5 o'clock Spanish.
I just have to study, a little more vocab of, the Bible. First of all, the English in the Bible is not the easiest itself. So Spanish, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd have to kind of do that.
Closer I get to that with speaking in tongues, I have no idea what I'm saying. That's an interpreter show.
Pero en términos generales, sí. O sea, no sería un
That's Spanish. That ain't tongues.
No, I know, but I was saying in general terms. Like I can speak Spanish. Like that's fine. Ya no me cuesta tanto hablar en español. Es fácil, como pueden ver. But
I done ate all these grapes now. I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, all right, we're gonna
end look at all these grapes. I done ate all these things.
I think they're healthy for you though, so that's good.
Yeah, they're good for your bowels. That's for sure. I got to go. Peace and love, favor to everybody.
That's right. We'll see you guys. If you guys haven't hit that like button on the way out, hope you guys enjoyed the interview, the show, and of course the sermon at the end, man. You guys got yourself a star-studded free for all Friday here. So we appreciate you guys. Look forward to doing it next week. I'll keep you guys posted on what we got planned, and we'll see you guys then. Be safe and roll tide.